Hi everyone, hope all of you are doing great and welcome back to the complete e-commerce website development tutorial. In the next 3 hours, this is the e-commerce website we're going to build from scratch with the help of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. We're not going to use any external libraries for implementing all the functionality which you can see in this website. Altogether, we're going to build 5 pages: homepage, shop page, about us, blog post and contact us, and even we're going to build the product page. So hope you will have a lot of fun in this complete website development tutorial. I did my best to bring the best out of me, so hope you will find a lot of learning. And throughout this tutorial I will highly focus on the utility classes and grid systems and give you a very good understanding that how you can make your complete website development process very easy with the help of utility classes. And when it's come to making a responsive layout, how you can use the power of grid to make any kind of layout as per different screen resolutions. So that's all we're going to focus in this complete e-commerce website development tutorial. Hope you will have a lot of fun, and all the resources are provided on my website dorothusen.com, but I would recommend you to code along with me, and that will give you a better understanding that why I'm designing the template the way I'm doing. But if you're stuck somewhere, the codes are provided to you. You can always have them and compare your codes. After this small intro, let me show you that what are the component and pages we're going to build, and after that you will find me in my code editor where we'll start coding this amazing project. So see you there after this small intro. Here you are in my code editor, and the code editor I'm using Visual Code Studio. You can literally pick any code editor, the one you like. So as of now you can see that I haven't written a single piece of code for this project. All I have a folder. Inside this I have my images, and that's it. So before I move ahead into this project, let me create those 3 files which actually required for this project: HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Then I'll move to my CSS where we're going to do some important reset, and we're going to create some utility classes and custom property variables which I'm going to use throughout this project. So let's dive into my CSS and let's do some global general reset. Custom property. Here I have all the variables which I'm going to use in this project. Simply copy and paste. So all the colors: gray, gray light, red, black, yellow, very light gray, green, blue, white, all these colors are in HSL form. So here I have the fonts, the biggest ones, they are in pixels. I have converted them into RAM, so all the fonts you can find right up here. So this is my font family. I'm using Montserrat and Popping. Let's do some default reset before we start writing the code actually. So let me remove the after and before box sizing is going to be border box, removing default margin, body, h1, h2, h3, h4, paragraph, figure, block quote, dl, dd, and margin is going to be 0. Removing list style, ul, role, list, ol, role, list, list style, none. set core root default HTML focus within scroll behavior smooth, set core body default body min height 100 vh, text rendering optimized speed, line height 1.5, element that don't have a class set the default styling. So anchor tag not class, so a not class text decoration skip in auto, making image easier to work with. Image picture element max width is going to be 100%, display block, inherit font for input and button, input button text area select font inherit, WebKit scroll display none, removing the side scroll bar, removing all animation, transitions and smooth scroll from people that prefer not to have animation in their browser. Start with media query, prefer, reduce motion, reduce. HTML focus within scroll behavior auto, before and after element, animation duration 0.01 ms important, animation iteration count 1 important, transition duration 0.01 ms important, scroll behavior auto important. Now we are done with the global resets. So now we are done with the global general resets. Let's create some important utility classes which we're going to use in this project. So first, body overflow x hidden. Let's create utility classes for background text and font family. So background color utility classes. So here we have all the color which we'll use in this project. So let's create a utility class of all this color. So dot bg red bracket background color, and I'm taking HSL color here. This is the custom property which I have created above. So this is the custom property which I have created. Let's scroll down. Let's replicate it a couple of times. Let's change the name. So this one is going to be black, is going to be blue. This one is going to be gray, green, gray light, very light gray, and the last one is going to be white. Let's change the name to blue, gray, green, gray light, very gray, light gray, and the last one is going to be white. I think we need one more, so I think we need one more. There are total 7. Let's see yellow. So yellow, and this one is yellow. So now we are done with the background color which we're going to use in this project. Now let's create some utility classes for the text. Let's give a comment, text utility class, and simply copy all this and paste here, and simply change the name to this bg to text. Let's come down and let's create some utility classes. So let's create some more utility classes for fonts. So here we have all the fonts. We're going to create a utility class for all of these. Let's scroll down here, and this is how I'm denoting FS 900, and that this is going to be my biggest font. So let's, font size is going to be var, and this is my custom property FS 194. So this is my biggest font. I'm simply replicating all these and changing the value. So 80, 65, 50, 45, 35, 20. Let me replicate one more, 26, 20, and 15. So let me change this to 700, 800, 500, 400, 300, 100, and this one is going to be 500. And the best part of using the font in utility classes that you don't need to worry about when it's come to responsive layout. We only need to remember these values FS 900, 800, and this becomes very easy to put this utility classes for our fonts. So let's start. So we are done with the utility classes for the fonts. Now let's scroll down. So some of the fonts we have in this project in bold inside. So we're going to create utility classes for bold font as well. So let's create very quickly. So bold and 100, font width is going to be 100. Let's replicate it a couple of times. Let's change 200, 300, and 400. And this one is going to be 600, 700, 900, and we need two more. So one is going to be bolder. Let me replicate it to bold, and this one is going to be bolder. Now simply change this value to 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 7, 8, 9, and the last one is going to be bold, and this one is going to be bolder. So we are done with our, so this is our font bold utility classes. So let's move ahead. And this becomes very handy when we work in our project. We need to put this utility classes where we want to have the stylings, and we don't need to write the custom styling over and over again for the same element. That's become very handy. So let's come here and that's the end of the utility classes. And if we need more utility classes, we'll come back to this portions. So let's go on and let's create some component utility classes. So in this project, some components are repeating over and over again, so we can it's good to create a component utility class, and you can use that component wherever you want, so we don't need to create those component again. So let's create those component very quickly. So class, and let's scroll it down. So first, UIL is basically we are using some icons in this project. So this cursor pointer, this utility class is for that. Let's flex is display flex, and gap, I'm going to choose a custom property. So if I want to change a gap as per the element, that's why I'm using this custom property. You will find that why I'm using this custom property more in this project. So let's say 1 ram, and let's replicate this and set a grid and change this display to grid, bring it down, and let's create a container with 96 VW, margin inline auto, padding inline 2 ram. Let's come down. That's the end of our component utility class. So we are done with this. Now let's see. Oh, we have to create one more utility class for the font family. So let's create that. Let's scroll down and give a name font family. I'm giving this comment so you can take the reference when you will have this code. So which part is for which components. So it's very important to always write comment in your project. So when you're working with your fellow partners, that will become very handy to see that which part of the code for which component. So let's create that utility. So let's create that utility class. So let's come here and let's go to Google font family. And here I'm going to search Poppins, click on Poppins and select all these fonts, So this one, like 400, 500, I'm doing it very quickly so you know how to do this. So I'm just selecting all the fonts of Poppins. So I have all these fonts. Let's come back and let's search for Montserrat. I know you know how to use this font families in the web, so I'm doing very quickly. So just select this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So we got it. So simply copy this link from here and come back to the project, go to the HTML section, and here I am leaving a comment, Google Fonts, and let's replicate it and put this inside this. So what wrap to wrap. Now let's come here, and here I'm also using icon in this project, so I'm going to add the CDN for that. So let's do it quickly. Let's come to the browser and search for it, and this is the website I'm using for the icons. So I must tell you to give a try. This one is amazing. So let's come here and let's click on get start and copy the code and come here and paste simply. So that's it. We have our fonts in all the sizes, we have our icons. Now we can move and start some writing code in our CSS. So let's go back here in the CSS and let's create the font FS Poppins and font family, and I will come back here and simply copy this from here and simply paste it. So copy this Poppin sections and paste here. Now replicate this, copy this sections, this Montserrat, and simply remove this and change this to this Poppin to Montserrat. So we are done with our font family utility class, and I think we are almost done with all the CSS, all the things which we need to start this project and writing some actual code in our HTML. So let's remove this and let's check once again. That's okay, everything's look good. We have our classes, all the utility classes we have. So here we are back in our HTMLs, and now we are done with the CSS global setting. We have created all our CSS utility classes. Now we are going to write our HTML code for this project. So let's start. Let's create a class with the name of home in the body. Let's create a header tag and let's give a class to primary header, and I will also use the content utility class which I have created, and I will say display flex because I'm going to create an icons and I'm going to create a menu, so that's going to be in the flex. So that's why let's come here and let's open into the live server and let's make it side by side very quickly. So let's zoom it a bit. So this is our browser. Now let's come here, let's create another class header inner one, and let's set the flex. Now create a div with a class name of logo. Let me put my image. So I have all the image in that. Let's select the image, come here and logo. So here I have my logo. Let's come back here and let's create a button and let's assign a button mobile. So here we have the close button. So here I'm creating a button with the name of mobile close BTN. Let's start. And what else? Let's give a data visibility to false. And the reason why I'm assigning this data visibility because I'm going to use this to open and close the navbar with the help of JavaScript. You will find out that what I mean. So let's assign this data visibility to false, and I will also assign area control, and this will always refer for an ID. So I will assign ID primary navigations. So this is how our button is looking right this moment. And let's what else? Let's come here. Let me format this everything, and let's create an icon. Let's put an icon. So let's come back to this website and just open it and come to this explore section and let me search for this icon. So circle So this cross, so this is the icon which we're going to use for our circle close. So simply click here and copy and come back here and paste. So here I have my icon, so we are done with that. So let's simply click here and let me create another component which is going to be a navbar. Inside this I'm going to have all the navigation. Now let's create a UL and I will give a ID to primary navigation. So here I have assigned a primary navigation area control primary navigation. So it's the same ID I have to give here because this will refer to this, and this is for system technology. So when you have area controls, when a system technology will read your code, they will know that okay, this button is controlling this part of the code. So it always wants an ID. So let's give a primary navigation. And what else? Let's create a data visible. Let's give it to false because this one is going to be open and closed. So that's why I'm assigning a data visibility to false. And let's come down here and let's assign a class is going to be let's say primary navigation. Let's set the display is going to be flex. I'm adding a flex class, and inside this I'm going to have my LIs. So let's create li anchor tag, and I'm going to create all the pages because here we are creating 5 different pages, one for home, about, shops. So I'm going to add all these pages here. So I'll say slash home and type home, and now I'm going to add all the utility classes which we have created in our CSS, and that's make our work very easy. So let me do it very quickly. So I'll say class, and this one is going to be my font size, and this one is my font family, Montserrat, and let me make it a little bit bold. So this is how it will look in the browser. And what else I can add? So let me zoom out a bit. Let me zoom it, and I hope it's looking good. Okay, so simply replicate this couple of times, and let me change the text very quickly. So this one is going to be about us, this one is going to be blog, and this one is going to be contact us. Let me change the name of this, about, blog, and contact. So we have all our utility classes. Now this is how it's looking right this moment. So let's make it side by side, and let's come here and let's add. So let's create another div with the name of header login, and let's give a class that and set flex. I will take a p tag and I will say login. Let's create a class fs Montserrat font family, and bold is going to be 500. So let's come back to the browser and let me grab the icon very quickly. So this is the search icon. I will come here and let's make it down and paste here. What else I want my shopping icon, so search shopping, and this one I will grab it and I will paste it here. So I think what else I need, let me assign an ID very quickly to be cart box. And the reason why I have assigned the ID because here I have to open and close it, so that's why I have assigned an ID. So let's come here, come back to the code editor, and let me assign an area control. This one is going to be cart icon. So this is how I have my login and all the buttons. Let's come back here. So let's come and give the comment. Here I'm going to add my cart box. So all the code for the cart I'm going to write inside this, and it's always important to write comment in between your codes. I will create an ID with card icon. Control will refer to this card icon. So I have assigned this card icon. Now let me give a data visible is going to be false, and let's create a class with card icon. This one is going to be for the stylings. Let's come here and let me create another div with a shopping, and let's set it flex. And inside this I will take a p tag and I will set shopping basket, and let's search for cross. Let's click here and come and paste here. So we got our icons. Let's bring it down and let's say cart bold is going to be 800. Let's set it to flex, and simply come here and type for shopping and this come here and paste it. So this is what we have. Now let me take a paragraph. Cart is empty, and this is how it's everything set. So everything is set. Now let's come back here and let's create another like div with a mobile open btn because I have to open and close it. So let's come here and let me grab this icon, paste it here. And what else I can do? So here I can give this comments because this website is really big, so I have to make it this comments. So let's type header section. Let me copy this and come here and paste it. So header end. Let's come here. This is how everything's looking right this moment. Now we are done with the HTML part. Now here we are in the CSS. Let's start writing the code for our header section. So let me give this comment header section, and this one is going to be end. So let's start with this primary header and justify content. Let's see how is everything's look. Let me set the stage for it. Justify content space between, align item center, padding block 2 ram from top and bottom, and let's bring it down. Let's come here. Let's target header inner 1, and let's set it to what? Align item is going to be center, and logo is going to be margin right from 2 rams. Yes, 2 ram. And let's grab the mobile button, close button, and set the display to be none. And now primary navigations, let's remove the margin So where it is. So here, remove the margin for 0, padding 0, list style none. And here, let me add my custom property. I've already said flex, and let's me add a custom gap is going to be 3 RAM, so this will space up apart, and this is how it will look. Let's come here down, and what else? Primary navigation A, text decoration is going to be none, and color is going to be HSL. And here I can make it little light, so I will say 0.6, so it will make the navigations little light. I don't want to have a dark one, so 0.6, that's good. And cursor is going to be pointer. Okay, this is how everything is looking. Let's come down here and let me create a primary navigation and active, and let's say color is going to be complete dark. And this active class I'm creating because I have to assign a dark color to my navigation where in whichever page I will be. So my first home page would have an active class, so I'll come in my HTML and here I will add active. I will paste, you will have a dark color. So that's my active page. So bring it down. So let's copy this header login, come here and justify content is going to be space between. A line item is going to be center, and let me set this. Okay, flex gap 2 RAM. Again, I'm telling you this is my custom property. And now let me zoom a bit and come down. Just comment out this for a while. Now check everything's looking fine. Hide that. So mobile open button display is going to be none on a desktop. So this is how it's looking. Bring it down. Primary header, header login, and my icon. Font size is going to be 2 RAM. I will have a big size. Now margin top is going to be 0.5 RAM. Position is going to be relative, and margin top is in the negative because I want to make it a little downward. And let's come here. So let's header login, my icon, and after element, because I'm creating a pseudo element, and on that I'm going to add my text. So content is going to be blank, and width is going to be 1 RAM, and position is going to be absolute. And what else I can add? Background color is going to be HSL, and this one is going to be red. Height is going to be 1.2 RAM. So this is how it will look. Now margin top is going to be -3 RAM. 3 RAM. It's not showing there. Now let's say margin left is going to be 1 RAM. Let's comment out this for a while. It's there. Okay. Now border radius is going to be 0.3 RAM. Now display is going to be grid, and this time I can set content to 0, so I will have that 0. And let's do here, set the color to be white, so my text will be white. Font size is going to be 1 RAM, and let's make it so it will be there in right positions. Let's come there, and font width is going to be 700. Let's expand this, let's close it, expand it. So this is how things looking. Now what? So let's come here, header media. So now let's start writing the media query for this. So let's come and let me come in. This one is going to be mobile, and first I'm going to target my max width is going to be 35 EM. So primary navigation, and I will set the position is going to be fix, and display flex direction is going to be column. This is how it will look. Now z index is going to be 999, and text align is going to be center. Flex gap is going to be 1.7 RAM, and here I will use inset 0%, 0%, 0% from all the sides, and I will assign a background color is going to be gray, this gray light. I will just increase the opacity to a little bit. 0.9 is good. Now padding is going to be clamp, and the reason why I'm using clamp because I want to make a responsive layout. So when someone's open this application and stretch it, so it will expand and will squeeze. So that's why I'm using clamp for my padding. So 3 RAM is the minimum. It will grow by 30 VH. 30 VH is a viewport height. So minimum is 3 RAM and the maximum is 30 VH, and the maximum will go to 10 RAM, and it will grow by 30 VH. So from the left and right is going to be 0. So this is how it will look. Now let me, what else? So transform transition Y and 100%. So transform transition Y 100%. So it will just take the navigation bar out of the window, because I want to add an animation. So when someone click on the button, so it will slide it down. So -100. So when I comment this, it will go up. So transform is going to be 250 millisecond, easy in and out. So let's come here, and primary navigation and data visible is going to be true. So I have assigned data visible to false. So when someone click, it will become true and it will slide it down. So let's come down here and set the trans Y is going to be 0%. So let me come here and show you. So if I change it to true, it will come down. If I change it to false, it will go up. So this is how everything's working. Let's come back here. And what else I can, let me just uncomment this and let's bring it down here. And primary navigation A, font size, let's give my custom property is going to be this one, 30. Yeah, this looks quite good. and let's bring it down. What I can add, so let's come to my HTML and see. So here I have my primary mobile button. Let's come and target this, and let's come here. Display is going to be block because I'm hiding on the desktop, but I want to make it visible on the mobile phone. So let's set it to be block. So let's set Z index is going to be 888. So right there. Now I want to provide top 5 RAM, and position is going to be fixed. Right is going to be 3 RAM. 3 RAM border is going to be 0, and what else I can add? Font size is going to be 3.3 RAM. Cursor is going to be pointer, and transform Y is going to be minus 300% because I want to make it completely out of the DOM. And let's set it to transform 500 ms easy in out, and let's target my mobile close BTN and set the data visible to true. So when I make it true, it will slide it down and it will go up. So translate Y is going to be 0. Let's come to my HTML DOM and set. So if I set true, it will be here. If I set it to false, it will go up. So let's come back to my CSS and let's make it to 14. Okay, that's good in the middle. So that's look good. And let's uncomment this. I have done something wrong. So where it is, let's come to my HTML. Okay, this one is false, so it will go up. So everything's looking good right this moment. So let's come here and let's create a header login, and I can provide a gap. So flex gap is going to be 1.5 RAM, and I can provide a margin from left hand side going to be 4 RAM. So the shopping bag will come this side. Now let's come down and mobile open button. Let me target that and set the display to be block. Let me increase the font size. Is going to be 2 RAM. This one is look good. Now cursor is going to be pointer. What else I can add? It's look good. So let's see the responsiveness. Let me stretch. Okay, let's squeeze it. Here it's looking good, here it's not looking good. So let's come down here and let's comment this, and this is one is going to be for iPad. So we are done with the desktop, we are done with the phone. Now let's move to the iPads. So let's adjust the heights. Okay, so very first thing I will say media min width is going to be 35 EM. So here I'm taking min, and when I was doing in my mobile phone I took max. So I generally like to do in this way, and the maximum it will go is to 59 EM. So this is how I add a media query mainly for my tabs. So when I'm designing any layout for the tabs, so this is how I assign media query for that. So here the very first thing, let's come up here, let's grab all these codes and simply paste it here. So here what I have done, I have simply copied all the code from my mobile design which I have set and simply paste into my tab one. So because the same style I won't provide in the tab design as well. So that's look good. Let's scroll down. Okay, let's come back to let's uncomment this section. What happened? Let's comment this, and let's start styling this part. So let's come here and let's card box. Now let me grab this card icon. Position is going to be absolute. This is how it will look. Insert 0% and 30%, and this one is going to be 0%, and this one is also going to be 0%. So this is how it will align. Let me assign a background color HSL, and this gray I will take light gray. So this is how it will look. Now let me provide a transform translate X and minus 100%, so it will be out of the DOM. So this is how it will look. So for a while, let uncomment this. Translation transform like 250 ms easy in out, and Z index is going to be 111. Let's come down here, card icon data visible, and this one is going to be true. Transform translate X 0%, and let's uncomment this. Okay, now let's bring it down. Now grab this shopping. Let's come back here, this one, and let's assign a padding is going to be 2 RAM. Justify contain space between. A line item is going to be center. Shopping direct P. Font size is going to be this 20. Font family is going to be this pop Montserrat. Shopping direct icon. So here I'm using this arrow to denote that directly that I'm targeting this icon, cross icon, which is inside the shopping. So font size is going to be 1.5 RAM. Color is going to be HSL black, and let's decrease the opacity to 0.5, 0.8. Now set the transition to be, let's say, transform 2.5 ms easy in and out, and shopping icon over, let's do it to transform rotate 90 degree. So let's check. Okay, it's working fine. So let's come down here and cut, and let's say flex direction is going to be column. So this is how it will look. Justify contain center. Width is going to be 100%, and flex gap is going to be, let's say, 0.5 rem. Okay, this looks good. A line item is going to be center, that will be in the middle. Now font family is going to be this Poppins, and text transformation to upper scale. Color is going to be this 0.5 opacity. This looks good. This is what we have in the design, a little light gray. So let's come down here and cart icons. So I'm targeting the icon. Font size is going to be 5 rem, so this looks good. Now margin bottom is going to be -2 rem, so this both will come together. Okay, so this looks good. Now let's scroll all the way down. Let's come here and simply dot card icon, and z index is going to be 999, and position is going to be fixed. Copy the same thing, paste in the desktop we had done now here in the tab. So okay, that's look good. Let's see. So it's working fine. This is how it's looking on desktop. Now let's scroll all the way down, and let's come here. Let me give this comment to desktop. And what else? Media query, min width is going to be 59 em, and I will grab that cart icon. Position is going to be absolute. Insert is going to be 10%, 5%, 50%, and 60%. So this is how it will look. Let me bring it this side. Border radius is going to be 1 rem, so this is how it will look. Let's come down. Transform translate X is going to be 150%, so this will go out of the DOM. Come down, Z index is going to be 222. Now transition transform 200 ms and easy in and out. Okay, so cart icon data visible true. Just give this bracket, and transform translate X is going to be 0%. So okay, let's see, it's true, and if I make it false, it will go off. So let's come down here and say cart icon shopping, and display is going to be none. So this text is got disappeared. Now let's provide a padding. So cart padding top is going to be 4. I mean, it will be in the middle. So this is how things are looking. Let me uncomment this. So this is how everything is looking. Let's come up and let's see where it is. Come up. Which one? Let's see this one. Just uncomment this, it will go out of the DOM. Now let's come to the JavaScript. So here we are in the JavaScript. Now let's start writing the JavaScript to bring this functionality. So what we have to do, we have to add a, so now let's bring those functionality. So we have to open our navigation and close. We have to open our cart icon. So let's write the JavaScript for that. So I'll give this comment header section, and I'm going to create const nav open document query selectors, and here I have assign this class. Copy and simply come here and paste. Replicate this couple of times. Now nav close, and let's change this to close, and this one is going to be my primary navigation. Let's come back, and what I have assigned, so it's a primary navigation. Copy this ID, come here, and let me remove all these sections and get element by ID, and I have to assign my ID. Okay, come down here, and now I'm going to add an add event listener on my nav open. So let's say nav open add event listener is going to be click and arrow function, and okay, no, let's remove this, and I will create a const and a variable. So I will call it visibility, and I will grab my primary navigation, and I will get the attribute data visible. So this is the data visible attribute which I have assigned in my HTMLs, and with the help of that I'm going to target. So data visible, so here I have assigned a data visible false. So with the help of that I'm targeting my UL navigation. So this is simply copy and come here and paste, and just come down, and here I'm going to write the if statement. So if visibility is deeply equal to false, so here I'm looking for a data type and the value, so that's why I'm giving this bracket. And primary navigation set attribute data visible to for true. So here what I'm saying, that get the primary navigation and set the attribute to true. So currently the data attribute is false, so when someone will click on the navigation, I want to change the attribute to true. So true. Let's come down, else create this bracket and prime. Let me copy this one and paste it and change this to false. Okay, let's save it and come here. As you can see, it's working fine, but we don't have our buttons, so just cut this, and I think something wrong. Let's come to the CSS. Okay, it's working fine, but let's come back to the CSS. Let's see what's happened. Let's see, just scroll down. So this one is true, data visible is true. Let's come back to my HTML. Okay, everything is working good. Okay, so simply change this. So I have assigned a data attribute to my close button. So I'm changing the data attribute to true also, so that will have the animation. So I've targeted my nav close and I'm setting the set attribute. So data is going to be true. Simply copy and paste and set it to false. Let's come back here and click. Here we have. So here click and something. Okay, let's see. Click and it's working fine. So we are getting our close button. Now let's add an add event listener on the close button. So when I will click on that close button, my navigation will close. So I will target my nav close and I will add an add event listener on that. I'm looking for a click and I will add an arrow functions. So again, I will simply copy the variables which I have created, visibility, and here I'm going to write the if statement. So visibility is going to be true. So here I'm looking for a true. So if my data attribute of that closing button is true, I want to make it false, because the very first time it's closed, when I'm clicking on the navigation menu, it's getting true. So if that is true, I want to make it false. So I'll say grab this nav, simply copy this two part and simply paste it here. So it's set to false. Now let's come down and let's try one more time. Let's save. Okay, save. Okay, it's working. It's closing, opening, closing, opening. But there's something wrong with my close button. Let's see what's happened. Okay, this one, 0. If I click, I will have the animation. Open, close, open, close. So everything's working fine. Working fine. Let's come back to my JavaScript. This is how it will look on desktop. Let me stretch. Okay, let's bring it down. So it's working fine. Let's bring it down. Looking perfect. So our navigation is working almost amazingly. Now let's grab our shopping cart and let's open the side navigation menu. So this part. So I'll come here. I'll come up here and this part. Let's uncomment this. Okay, this is one. So if I click on this cross button, so I want my navigation, this side menu, to be closed. So I'm going to add an event listener on that, and I'm going to add an event listener on the shopping bag as well. So let's uncomment this and on that also. So let's come back to my JavaScript and simply let me give this comment so I can know what I'm doing. So card menu and const. Let's come back here and grab me the, so this one, card icon ID. So shopping bag document dot get element by ID, and this one is going to be card icon const card items and document dot get element by. So I have assigned a, let's see what, okay, something wrong. So okay, so simply copy this and come here, and here I have to assign card box, and this one is going to be card icons, sorry. And let's create another const variable. Is going to be cross. So here I'm targeting my cross button document get element by ID, and let's grab it. So where is the cross button? So here, see our cross btn. So here I have my cross button. So let's add an event listener on the shopping bag, and I'm looking for a click, and I will run arrow function on that. Const shopping cart. Let's grab the cart item and get attribute data visible, visible, visible. Okay, if shopping cart deeply equal to false, then I want to set cart item set attribute to, let's say, data visible true, and else. Let me copy this and paste it here, and this one is going to be false. Let's come back and let's check whether it's working or not. So something wrong, it's not working. Let's see my console. Everything's look good. Okay, this one is problem. It's not REE. Simply save it, and now it's working fine. As you can see, closing up. Now I have to add an event listener on this close button. So let's come back here, go to my HTMLs, and let's me grab that. And here I have to assign an ID. I forgot to assign the class. So let's create an ID, not class. So I'll say cross btn. So simply copy, and here I have already targeted that cross btn. So let's come here and add an event listener on that button. So this is going to, let's remove this cross btn dot add event listener, looking for a click and running arrow functions. By the time you guys are mostly familiar of this syntax, I'm repeating this variables quite oftenly. So let's grab this show cart, and if shopping cart is deeply equal to true, then I want to make it false. Okay, let's save it and come to the browser and check everything's working fine. Okay, this one is also working this one amazingly. So everything's working fine. Let's stretch it. Okay, this works really good, and everything's working fine. So with here are you in my CSS file, and before I start writing the code for my hero section and product category, let me create those utility classes which we're going to need in the hero section and product category. And you have already seen that how important these utility classes are, and that's why I totally love it. It makes your designing very fast when you come to designing a component. And you have already seen when we were designing our header section, and we created a lot of utility classes up there and how we use it in our project. So let me create those utility classes like button, line height, text transform, block. So let me create those classes very quickly. I'll give this line, I will replicate this hero sections, and I'm going to comment out this part so you guys will have a reference. Let's come down. First class is going to be block, display is going to be block. Let's come down, uppercase text transform to uppercase. Come down, this one is going to be line height. Okay, it's right, line height. And here I'm taking a custom property because my component will have a different line height as per their styling. So here, that's why I'm taking a custom variable here. So this one is going to be line, and I will assign 3 RAM and replicate it, and this one is going to be 4, and this is my second line height. This one is second. Let's come down. Let me create a utility class with a large btn, and border is going to be 0, padding is going to be 0.7 from top and bottom, and 1 ram from left and right. Border radius is going to be 2 ram, cursor is going to be pointer, and transition transform is going to be 250 millisecond easy in out. Let's come down. Let me create a button over effect, so large btn over, and I will background is going to be this black color, and I'm using my custom colors which I have already created. And this box shadow is going to be 3 pixels, 2 pixels, 37 pixels minus 6 pixels, and I'm going to take a RGB color here like 250, 250, 250, which is a complete white, and I will take a opacity is 0.69. So this looks good. Let me zoom out. So with that, we are done with our utility classes for CSS. Now let's jump into my HTML document and let's write some code for our hero section. So here I'm into my HTML. Let me give this lines very quickly. Hero sections, and comment this part replicated, end of hero sections. So you guys can have the reference while you will go through this code. So let's come here. I will take a main container and I will assign a class hero section, bring it down, and I will take a h1 tag. Inside this, I'm going to write beats solo. Solo, what is it, solos, and I will take a span. Inside this I'm going to write wireless, and I will take another span. Inside this I'm going to type headphones. Okay, headphones. Let's come down. Okay, come down here, and I will take an image and go to my folder, and I will select this image, and I will come, and let's do one thing. Let me create a div and wrap this h1 and image inside the div, and that will make my work when it's come to placing them. So let's cut this part and bring it down here and paste it here. Now what I can do, I will create another section with the name hero inner, and I will assign to flex. Let's take a div, and I will insert their div. I will take a button and I will type shop by category. Okay, so this is our button. Let's come down, create another div, and in this I'm going to take h4, and this one is going to be my description. I'll come down, I will take a p tag. So I have already copied the text and pasted it inside my paragraph. Let me do word wrap to normal. So this is how it will look. So now I think we are done with that. Let's start assigning the utility classes. So let's assign a class to my h1 class. fs is going to be 200, and font family is going to be poppin, and let's come to my span. Class is going to be line height. I want to have some distance between the text. Okay, now font family is going to be 300, bold 900, and this one is going to be poppins. Okay, so let's create another class called big wireless, because I want to assign some custom styling to that wireless. So let's come back to my CSS, copy this block and paste it here, and let's go to my this span. So text white, let me cut this text white, and let's come back to my CSS. Why it's not working? Let's come up here, and like here is a text white. Let's copy this part and come back to my HTMLs and paste it. Nothing's changed. Okay, that's strange. Let's assign let's make it uppercase. This is how it will look. Now let's say line height is going to be 2, so it will have some space from top and bottom. Okay, let's come down all the way, come down, and let's copy that and simply paste it. Okay, it's working. Okay, now let's make it bold to bolder, and font family is going to be poppin, fs 900, so it's going to have a biggest size. So let's cut this part, and text white. Why it's not working? Let's come back to my custom properties which I have created. So okay, let's see what happened. Okay, so here I have done some mistakes. So background color I have assigned, I have to remove the background because I'm using it as a text color. So simply remove, select this part, copy, and I'm selecting with Control D. So when you tap Control D, you can select all the text. So simply remove it, and as you can see, it's white right now. So let's come down in my HTML, and let's get my button class, and the large btn class I'm going to assign. This is how it will look. Let's come down all the way. So here I have my large btn, and I will assign a background color to red. Text is going to be white, and I will assign a font family is going to be popping. So this is how it will look. Font size is going to be 50. Let's change the description style. So this one is going to be Montserrat. Let's copy that in my paragraph. So this is how it's looking. Now what else? Let's check. So let me assign a class to this div inner info, and let's come back to my CSS, and let's grab the hero section. So let me give this comment, hero section, and this one is utility classes. Come back, grab my hero sections, come here, and width is going to be 93 VW for my phone, and I'm going with the mobile phone approach. So in my navbar I went with the desktop design first, but this time I'm focusing on mobile device, and then I moved to desktop and tablet. So margin inline is going to be auto, that will hold my content in the middle. Padding inline is going to be 2 ram from both the sides, and background color is going to be HSL gray. So this is how it will look. Border radius is going to be 2 ram, so nice border. Now padding top is going to be 5 ram. Let's come down, and I'll target my hero section direct image, so all the image which I have inside my hero section, so this arrow denote that. So I'll say margin top is going to be minus 11 ram, so that will hold my image in between the container, so you can see that. Margin is left is going to be 2 ram. Let's come out and create a hero inner, and let's come back. Let's see, yeah, it's hero inner. Come back, and justify content is going to be space between. A line item is going to be center, and here I'm using my custom property. Flex gap is going to be 5 ram because I have assigned a flex to my inner hero inner. And margin top is going to be minus 3.5 ram. Padding bottom is going to be 4. This is how it will look. Let's come down. Hero inner, let's grab it, make display none. So it's not displaying. My button is also gone. What's the problem? So let's come back here and let's see what's the matter. Hero inner. Okay, simply remove this, and this one is going to be hero inner because I have targeted the main container. I have to hide the text description only. So hero inmove. So I have my button back. Let's come down. So this is how it's looking on a tablet, and this is how it's looking on a mobile phone. Let's come down and let's add the media query for my tablet. So media, and I'm going to say min width is going to be 35 em and max width is going to be 59 em. I use em rather than using ram when it's come to designing a layout. So I will target my hero sections, and width is going to be 95 for my tablet, mainly for my desktop. And this margin inline is going to be auto. Okay, padding inline is going to be 4 ram. What else I can add? So this looks good. Padding top is going to be 7 ram, so that will bring my content down. Let's target my hero inner sections, all the images. Justify content is going to be space between. No, let's remove that, not space between. I'll say margin top is going to be minus 10 ram, and margin left is going to be 4. Let's make it to 5. Okay, this looks good. Let's come back. Line height 2 is going to be 2 ram. Let's make 7. That's 17. It's not working. Let's make it 7. This looks good. Let's come up here, and here it's 2. Okay, because the line will be 2, so now it will work. Okay, it's working fine. So okay, let's come out of this media query. Let's go and let me give this comment to media query for iPad. Let's come down, and this media query is going to be for my desktop. So let me give this comment. Let's come down. This is how it looks. Let me adjust my screen, and let's come here, and media min width is going to be 59 ram. Let's come down. Hero section width is going to be 95 VW. This is how it will look. Okay, let's come this. Let's come back here, and margin inline is going to be auto. Padding inline is going to be 3 ram. Padding top, here I'm using the clamp property, so I want to make a responsive padding from top. So it's going to be 4 ram, 30 VH and 15 VH. So this is how it will look. Hero inner, justify content. Let's get rid of this, and let's target line height is going to be my line 1, and this one is going to be 13. It looks quite big. Okay, let's come out and target my line height 2, and line height 2, this one will have a 12 ram. This looks quite big. Okay, let's come down here. Hero info, and display is going to be blocked, so I want to make it visible on the desktop. Now text align end, and width is going to be 25%. This is how it will look. Okay, now let's see. Let's come to my HTML. So big wireless, copy that and come and paste here. Big wireless font size is going to be 5 ram. So this is how it will look. What else I can add? Hero inner, and margin top is going to be minus 4 ram. So padding bottom is going to be 8 ram. Let's see. Okay, let's scroll down. So this is how the image is looking. Let's come up here, and hero section image, and margin top is going to be minus 30 ram. So okay, that's look good. 30 ram is good. I need to do something about this space, and this is how it's look on a mobile phone. This is how it look on desktop, but we have to do something about this. Let's make it a mobile responsive. Okay, let's come here. Let's go up. So let's create a media query for my font. So I want to make my fonts responsive for the different screen sizes. So let's write a media query for fonts, and that's make our work easy because I don't need to define these fonts when I was targeting an element. It will automatically adjust, and I'm going to add my media queries on the top for different screens. So let's give this comment, bring it down, and media, let's cut this. This one is going to be media max width 35 em. Simply copy this 3 times, calm down, and this one is going to be min, and max width is going to be 59 for my and this one is going to be 59 for my desktop. So simply copy this part, paste it. Okay, let's remove this, and let's copy it once again and type root, and inside this I have to paste this. So simply copy and paste in all these 3, and come here. This look good. Let's okay, this looks perfect. So let's make it to, I think, so let's make it to 1 RAM, and this one is going to be 0.8 RAM. This looks perfect, and this one is going to be 8. And let's come for tab. Here I have to make this 2, and this one is going to be 255 RAM, and this one is going to be 8. On my desktop, this one is going to be 2 RAM. This looks quite big. Okay, this one will be 1.25 RAM. Okay, this is perfect. This one is going to be min height. Okay, that was the wrong. So this one is going to be 2. This looks absolutely great. So this is how it will look. Let me expand this so it's perfect. Let me decrease the size a bit. Okay, let's increase. So this is how it will look on the desktops. Minimize it. Let's come down. Come down here. Where? Okay, come to this sections. Let's make the full desktop, and here I can decrease the line height. So it's going to be 4. Okay, 4. This is perfect. And this one is going to be 10. I think I have to increase to 13. This looks absolutely great as per the design we have. Okay, now we have set with that. So it's responsive and it's working fine. So this looks great. So we're done with the hero section. Now let's start designing this part, our product category. So let's come back here. Let's go to this code editor. Let's make it small. Let's come to my HTML and let's write the code for my product category. So let's come here. Let me give this comment product sections. Duplicate this, bring it down. And then I will take a section. Inside this I will take a class, and I will assign a class to product sections. Let's bring it down, and I will create a category, and what else I can assign. Let's bring it down, and I will take h3 tag, and in this enjoy I will take a span, and this one is going to be width, and in this span is going to be earphone. Let's come down here. I will add a button. So this one is going to be browse. Let's come out of that, and I will create a product image div, and inside this I will going to have my image. So I will go to my folder, and I will pick this image headphone. So this is how it will look, our entire sections. Now assign, let's say BG black. So this is how it's look. Let's cut this. Let's assign to my category BG black. Okay, this is how it look. Grid, this stretch it out. Let's do one thing. Let me wrap all these container inside a div and check how things looks. Okay, let me add another div. Okay, let's remove this, and let's add the div inside and wrap the h3 and button inside the div. So do that, and let's remove this. So this is how it will look. I have a that the entire section is covered into the black, and this is how it's look. And here in my category I have assigned a BG black, and it's a grid, so it's covering the entire in a container. So let me adjust this now. So this is how it will look. Now let me assign a classes. So text white, font 50, font family is going to be Montserrat, and bold, bold. Let's move it, and let's come to my span, create a class, and this class is going to be block, so it will come to the next line, and font size is going to be 300, and font family is going to be Poppin. So this is how it will look. And let's go to my other span. Let me give a class to earphone in case if I want to add any custom properties, and this one is going to be uppercase, and let's say font size is going to be 400, and font family is going to be Montserrat. This is how it will look, and bold is going to be 900, and line height. Okay, this looks great. Now let's target my button, assign a class, and this one is going to be product button, and this I'm going to use my utility class to large BTN. Text is going to be white, and background color is going to be red. So this is how it will look, and font family is going to be Montserrat. Now it looks good. Now let's come to my CSS, and let's give this comment product sections. how do I start? So let's give product sections, and let me assign a width to be 93 VW. Margin inline is going to be auto, and let's come out of this. Let me grab the product category, and product radius is going to be 2 ram, and grid template column is repeat, and this one is going to be 2 1FR. And let's come back to let's come here again, and let's text align is going to be flex end, and padding is going to be 7 ram from top and bottom, 4 ram from bottom and left to right. Now position is going to be relative, overflow hidden, and Z index is going to be 777. Margin block 1 ram, so I will have this gap. Now let's come out of this and let's grab, so let's come to my HTML and let's copy this product BTN, and let me just remove this product BTN, and margin top is going to be 1 ram, padding inline is going to be 2 ram. Okay, this looks perfect. Now earphone, and color is going to be my gray. Let's remove this color. HSL is going to be white, and I want to increase the transparency to 0.2. This will how it look. Now product image position absolute, and top minus 3.2 ram, right 3 ram, and Z index is going to be minus 1. So let's come back to my HTML. Let's see what my button is working fine. Let's see, copy this, come here and simply change it. So this is how it will look. So I forgot to add the one, so let's come back to my HTML again, and looks fine. Let me scroll. So these are things. So do one thing, let me copy this and replicate a couple of times. I need total lines, so let me replicate this, and let's come here and let me add this section 1, bring it down, add 2, bring it down 3, bring it down 4, bring it down 5, and this one is going to be 6. That's, I think, okay, so 6 6 6 6. Okay, where is it? Let me remove this part. So I think it's look good. Okay, let's come here and let me change the background color to yellow, so this will have a yellow color. Now let's come here and let's change it to red, so this is how it will look. Now let me change this background color to gray, so I will have a gray color. Let me change this to yellow. Text and background is going to be white, so this is how it will look. So this one is going to be text red, and background color is going to be white. So let's make it this green, and change this to white, and this one is going to be green, my text color. Now let's come down here, and this one is going to be blue, and blue, and let's change this to white, and this one is going to be blue for my text color. So this is how it will look. Now let's come up and let me change the images. So this one is going to be, it's a image 1, so let's make it W. This one is W, is watch. Okay, let's come down, and this one is going to be my laptop here, and here I want to display games, game, and this one is going to be my man 2, and this one is going to my mouse, which is a speaker. Let's come up here, everything's look good, and I think this one is 2. Let me change the utility classes, all the classes for images to this one is going to be 4, this one is going to be 5, and things, let's see what I'm missing. This one is 3, this one is 1, let's see, this one is 2, this one is 3, and this one is 4, and this one is 5 and 6. Okay, 6, I think missing something. Let's come back to my CSS, and let's give this comment product, and simply replicate this couple of times. So this one is going to be my image 2. Let's bring down here, and let's change this to 0.5 ram, and this one is going to minus 6 ram from the right side, and let's remove this. So this is how it will look. Come here now, let me type product image 3. Position is going to be absolute, width is going to be 80%, right is going to be minus 3.5 ram, and top is going to be minus 2, not minus 2.5 ram. And let's grab the 4 image, and position is going to be absolute, width is going to be 50%, right 1 ram, top is going to be 5 ram. Okay, product image 5, position is going to be absolute, width is going to be 100%, and right minus 4 ram. Why it's not working? Let's give a top to 1 ram. Okay, what's happened? It's not. Let's try the Z index minus 1. Let's make it 200. Okay, let's come down and let me grab the 6th image, and position is going to be absolute, width is going to be 70%, and right is going to be minus 3 ram, top is going to be 5 ram, Z index minus 1. It's also not working. Let's come back to my HTMLs and let's see. So where it is. Okay, so this one is going to be 5, okay, and this one is going to be 6. So now it's really working fine. So everything is set, everything's working fine. Let's check the buttons are working, everything's look good on a mobile phone. And let's come to my CSS. Let's go up here and going to my categories. Let's come here in my HTML and let me grab, no, let's assign a grid so it will have a gap like this. Okay, let's come to my CSS and I'm going to use the grid template one. So I will category nth child one. Let's remove this and let's do one thing. Let's come down here. Let me give this comment: building layout for tab and desktop. So okay, let's take this media query. Min width is going to be 35 em and max width is going to be 59 em. Product section width is going to be 95 VW. So let's make it to the tablet. And margin inline is going to be auto. Margin block 2 RAM from top and bottom. Let me comment this. This is how it will look. And gap is going to be 1.5 RAM. Grid template area, so 1, 1, 2 and 3, and this one is going to be 3 and 6. Here I will use 5, and the last one is going to be 4, 4. So as you can see, we got the layout. So let's see, our layout is perfectly working. Let me show you. So it's working fine. So this is how it's working. Everything's working really good. Let's come here and let me target the product category nth child one, because I have used the grid, so I'm doing it this way. So grid area 1, let me copy this, paste a couple of times and change this 2, and this one is going to be 2, this 3, 3, 3, 4, 4 and 5, 5, 6, 6, and we have extra one. Delete this. Come and see, everything's look perfect. Now we have to do some adjustment in the images positions. Yes, I have to do some changes in there. So let's come into my media query and let me grab the category. Okay, let's come up here. So this is my category, what I have assigned. Let's scroll down. Okay, and I'm going to assign a margin block is going to be 0, so I want to remove that extra margin which I have assigned to my category. Okay, and product image, I'm going to target the third element, which is the red element. Right is going to be -1 RAM, top is going to be 1 RAM, and let's make the position to be absolute. Width is going to be, let's say, 60%. Okay, it looks small and perfect. Let's come down and let's grab the image 4. So write down this one, gray one. Width is going to be 50% and position is going to be absolute. Let's come up, and right is going to be 1 RAM and top is going to be 1 RAM, so it's perfect in the center. Let's come out of that. Let me grab the fifth image, which is our man. Our position is going to be absolute. Width is going to be 110%. Top is going to be 2.5 RAM. Okay, this looks good. Make it 3. Let's increase a bit to 4. Okay, this looks really great, and it's working fine, everything's. Now let's come out of that and let's make the responsive layout for the desktop. Let me comment this out and let me write the media query for that. So min width is going to be 59. I'm targeting my product section. Okay, width is going to be 95 VW. So this is how it's looking. What's the problem? Let's come down here. So what is the problem here? Let's assign a margin is going to be inline auto, and margin is going to be block 3 to 2 RAM, and gap is going to be 1.5 RAM. Display is going to be grid, and grid template area is going to be 1, 2, and this one is going to be 3, 3. And let's bring it down, and this one is going to be 4, 4, and 5, and 6. So let's save. Okay, this one min. So as you can see, we got our layout back. It's looking perfect. So we got our layout back because of that mi, and we add the b to, instead of n I have added the b, so it's working fine. Okay, let's come back to my code editor and scroll down, and let's grab the product image. Now I have to adjust the image as per the desktop. We have done with the mobile phone, we have done with the tablet, now we have to do with the desktop. So let's bring this down. Let me adjust this, and width is going to be 150%, and let's make it to right 10 RAM, so it's look good. And z index is going to be -11, so it will go back and my button will come up. So top is going to be 1 RAM, it's come down, so I can remove this part. Okay, it's look perfect. Now let me grab the product image number 2. So this one is going to be -6 RAM, so my watch is looking good. Okay, top is going to be 2 RAM. Okay, let's make it to 1. Okay, I can remove this part without top is looking great. Now let's come down here I can say product image is going to be 3, is going to be like 3 image will have with 80%, so right minus 3.5 RAM, and top is going to be 1 RAM. So let's comment out this and limit it back. So minus 3, okay, this looks good. So let's make it 2.5, okay, and let's drop it to 60. It's quite small, and let's make it 1, okay, 0.5. It's absolutely perfect. So product image 4, width is going to be 50%, right is going to be 1 RAM, top minus 2 RAM. Let's make it 0, 1 is 2 is perfect. Okay, it's perfect. And let's come down, target my image number 5. Let's make it side, and let's target the man. Width is going to be 100%, right is going to be minus 4 RAM, top is going to be 1 RAM, and Z index is going to be 1. So let's increase it. Let's bring it 6, 7. Let's make it to 125, and make it 5 and 3. Let's bring it to 4. This looks perfect. Now let's get me the image number 6. Width is going to be 70%, right is going to be minus 3 RAM, top is going to be 5 RAM, and right is going to be 0, and Z index is going to be minus 1. And let's make it to 90, and this one is going to be minus 3. So it's look perfect. Okay, it's perfect in there. Now let's grab the line height, and let me make it to 3, and let me grab the line height 2, and this make it to this 1:2, line height 3, 1. No, it's not working. Okay, let's come here and let's come to my HTML, and let me change the color to my text. So this one is going to be black. I want to change the gray color text into black. So as you can see, this looks black. So let's come back here. It's something wrong in my mobile phone. Okay, it's perfect in my tab. It's not working in my mobile phone. So let's come to my CSS. So here I have assigned a grid. If I remove this, I will have all the, if I bring it back, it's not working. So let's remove this grid, save it. And if I see, this is how it's looking perfect on desktop. It's look good on desktop, look good on mobile phone, but in tablets look not that good. So I come to my CSS and go to my media query, and here I can say display is going to be. So we are done with the hero section and our product category. Now let's move to the service section. I'll take a sections, and I will assign a class to service section, and I will take a div called service, and inside this I will take an image. I will select this free CSV image. I'll create another div with the class service info, and inside this I'm going to take h3 free shopping, and I will take a p tag free shopping on all orders. This is how it will look. Let's assign a class fs poppins fs200. Let's come to the p tag, and let's assign a class fs montserrat fs50. So this is how it will look. Now simply replicate this 4 times. Change the images to set, change this image to support SUPT, and let's change this to payment. Now let me change the text very quickly. Money guarantee, GURANTEE, and simply open into the new tab, and let's copy the text from here and paste this one, copy paste, and this copy and paste. This is how it's look. So I will give this comment service section. We'll target this service section class. Width is going to be 90 VW for my mobile phone. Margin inline is going to be auto. Margin block 2 RAM from top and bottom. Display is going to be grid. Gap is going to be 1.5 RAM. Grid template area 1, 2, and 3 and 4. This is how it will look on a mobile device. Let's come back and target the service sections. Come here. I will target the nth child. Grid template area is going to be 1. Copy and paste 4 times. Let me change the content 3, 3, 4, 4. So this is how it will look. Service and display is going to be grid. Place item center. Text align center. Gap is going to be 1 RAM. Let's come service FS200. I'm targeting the font and changing the font which I have assigned to my custom property. So here I'm changing that font. Let's target the service, and this one is going to be my small font. So font size, this one is going to be 0.79 RAM. Let me zoom this, and let's see. This is how it's look on a tab, and this is how it's look on a mobile phone. Media query for the desktop. I'm going to target my service section. Width is going to be 90 VW for our desktops, and margin align is going to be auto. Display is going to be grid, and gap is going to be 5 RAM, and grid template area one, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm adding the entire section in one line. So this is how I'm denoting. So let's see, this is how it's looking on a desktop. Let's add a media query. I forgot to add that. So min width is going to be 59 em, and I'll simply copy and paste the entire content inside the media query. And I will target my service fs200, and I will change the, let me remove this, font size is going to be 1 RAM. So this is how it will look. I will target my small fonts 50, and I'll make it to 0.79 RAM. Desktop is look good. Let's come up and see on the mobile phone it's also look good. Let me bring this side by side, and let's change this. Okay, I forgot to add this 9, so 0.9 for my mobile device. So this is how it will look right now. Let's expand this and let's bring it down so everything's look good. And let's start creating the feature section. So we are done with the service section. Now we are moving to the feature section. So let me give this comment features section. I will take a section and I will assign a class to feature section, and I will take a background color is going to be BG red. I'll create another div with a class feature1, and this one is going to be grid. I'll take an image and I will select this image. So this is how it will look. Let's come down and I will take a p tag and I will write my content 20% off. In the next p tag, fine, and I will take a span. Inside this I'm going to take a write smile, and I will take another p tag, and in this I'm going to add the content date 15 November 2 and December. So this is how it will look. Let's come out of the div and I will create another div with a class name of feature info. Inside this I will take a h2 tag and I will say beat solo air, and I will take a paragraph tag. Inside this I will type summer sale. So let's copy the content and paste here. Let's see, let me format the document. Let's come down, I'll take a button and I will type shop. I will select my p tag and I will assign a class text white uppercase. Let's come to the second p tag and I will assign a class with font size, which I'm going to use as my custom property, and I will add some custom styling to this p tag, and I'll assign line height to this. Font size is going to be 500, so it will look a little bigger, and text is going to be white. Let's remove this font size. Let's make it to 500. Why it's not working? Let's add a font family is going to be Poppins and make it bold 900. So it's not one. Let's come to my CSS. Let's go up and let's see. So everything's look good. This is the font size. Let's come up here in the media query and let's do some changes. Let's make it to 6, 3. Okay, this one is min width is going to be, and let's come down here. Let's see again and let's make it to 900. Okay, this is how it will look, 900. Now let's add the utility classes to other paragraph tag and content. So let's grab my span, and this one is going to have a class smile, and I will tag my p tag, and this one is going to have a text white. Font family is going to be Poppin, and font size is going to be 50. Let's target the h2, and font size is going to be 200. Text white, fonts family Poppins, bold 500. Let's target this p tag. Let me assign a class font Poppins. Font size is going to be 300 and bold is going to be 800. Let's text color is going to be white. Let's add this class, and fonts Montserrat. So, and text color is going to be white. Font size is going to be 50. Assign a class to product btn, large btn, text red, and this is how it will look. Let's assign a bg color is going to be white, and font family is going to be Poppin. So this is how it will look. Let's come to my CSS. Let's scroll all the way down. Let me give this comment features section. We'll copy this feature sections and paste here. Width is going to be 90 VW. Margin inline is going to be auto. Border radius 2 RAM. Positions relative. Margin top is going to be 15 RAM. Display grid. Gap 1 RAM. Place item center. Margin bottom 2 RAM. Text align center. Padding inline is going to be 4 RAM. Padding 8 RAM from top, 2 RAM from left and all the sides. This is how it will look. Let's come out of this feature sections and let me target the image. Margin top is going to be minus 18 RAM, so this is how it will place on top of the container. Position is going to be absolute. Right, minus 1.5 RAM. Feature info, padding inline 1 RAM. Margin top is going to be 1 RAM. Come to my HTML. Let's copy the button and let me target that product btn. Margin top is going to be 2 RAM, and let me assign this class. Padding inline is going to be 2 RAM. Let's write media query for this sections for iPad. Media min width is going to be 35 em and max width is going to be 59 em. I'll target my feature section. Let's expand a bit for my tablet. Display is going to be grid template column, repeat 2 and 1 FR. Grid gap is going to be 55 RAM. Text align left, padding 2 RAM from top and bottom, and left and right 0. Page break inside 7 RAM. Let's grab this smile, and display is going to be block. Position is absolute. Padding bottom is going to be 1 RAM. Come here, 700. Let's assign a line height 2. And copy this and come to my CSS, and here I would say line height is going to be 3 RAM. Let's make it to 4 RAM. This is how it will look. Now let's write the media query for the desktop. So min width is going to be 59 em. So this is how everything is placed. Feature section, Z index 2, place item, start, grid template column, repeat 2 RAM 1 FR. This is how everything is placed. Text align left, padding 4 RAM from top and bottom, and left and right is going to be 7 RAM. Width is going to be 95 VW. Display grid, gap 15 RAM. Feature section, I'm targeting the image, so margin top is going to be minus 25 RAM. Positions absolute. Right 19 RAM. Z index is going to be -1, so the image will go back the text. Target the smile class. Display is going to be block. Margin bottom is going to be 2 RAM. Grab the font size class. Font size is going to be 5 RAM. Line height is going to be 4 RAM. This is how everything is placed. Everything's looking good. This section is also looking good. This one is also, we'll make it to 7. It's quite big, and let it make it this 5.5. So this is how it will look on a mobile phone. So let's come here, come to my HTML, simply change this to 500. Let's make it to 6. Oh, this looks perfect. Everything's working fine. So let's come to the CSS and let's expand this. So let's come in my tablet media query and let's do the adjustment in the image. So I'll get my image and I will set right is going to be 5 RAM, so there it will be. Now let's come to my HTML. Padding top is going to be 3 RAM, so this is how it will look. Let's make it to 5, so it will have some space. Let's see, it looks great. Okay, this is how it will look on a tablet, and this is how it will look on a desktop. So this is absolutely perfect. Let's come to the next section. So we are done with the feature section. Now let's move to the best selling product. Let me give this comment to best selling product. I will take a section and I will assign a class bestseller. I'll create a div with a product class and let's assign this a grid. I'll take an image tag and I will select this image, my product image. I'll come down and I will take a p tag. Inside this I will take a white. This text I'm going to copy and simply paste here. I'll take another p tag and in this I'm going to write the price. Let me assign a class. So FS font family is going to be Poppin, bold 500. That's bold 500. And let's grab this, assign a class to Poppins, and bold is going to be 500. So this is how it will look. Let me give this comment, and here I'm going to create another div with product details, and I will set the grid and I will assign a background color to red. So I'll come here to this font icons and here I will search for shopping. Let's copy this and copy and paste here. I'll look for heart and click on this and copy and paste here. So I'll give this comment so I can know that this one is for my product details. Come to my CSS and here let's give this comment best selling product. Let's zoom a bit. I'll target the best product. Padding block is going to be 5 RAM, so I will have some space from top and bottom. Let's come to my HTML and header. I'll give this comment header. I'll take a section and I will assign a class best product container. In this I will take a h2 tag bestseller product. I'll take a p tag and I'll simply come here and copy the text and paste here. Let's assign the classes. So letter spacing. With the utility classes I'm going to create and add to this h2 tag, and let's make it bold to 800. Okay, and font family is going to be Poppins. Let's target my p and let's set it to Montserrat, and font height is going to be 100. I'll copy my best product, come here and I'll say best selling product. I'll give this comment and best product, and I will assign a padding block 5 RAM, text align center, best seller. I'm targeting this, make it to capital. Come here. Width is going to be 90 VW. Margin inline is going to be auto, text align center, display grid, and gap is going to be 3 rem. Grid template area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So altogether I will create 8 products on my home page. Grab the bestseller and one child, and grid template area is going to be 1. Replicate this 8 times, and let me change this text quickly. So 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, and this one is going to be 7, 7, and 8, 8. Let's come here, and this is how everything looks. I'll target my product, and text align is going to be left. I will add my custom gap property is going to be 0.5 rem. Cursor pointer position is going to be relative because I want to set the red container, so that's why I'm assigning a position relative to this main product container. Overflow X is going to be hidden because I want to add an animation, and I want that product is going to be slide. This animation is going to have a slide effect, so that's why overflow X is hidden. Product over cursor, I'm going to assign a red color to my on over effect. Product details, position absolute, height 25%, place item center, font size is going to be 1.5 rem, grid gap 0 rem, width is going to be 10%, right is going to be 0, top is going to be 0, border radius is going to be 0.5 rem, text transform X is going to be 120, so it will go out of the DOM, means the product container. Let's uncomment this, comment this, and this is how it will look. Let's come here, text transition transform 250 ms easy in and out, so this is how it will look. Let's target the product over effect, and on that I will say product details. This is going to have a transform translate is going to be 0, so as you can see this is coming and going. Product image, border radius 2.2 rem, let's make it 2 rem, this looks good. So I have created a letter spacing class, so let's style that one. So letter spacing is going to be -1 pixels, so this is how it will look. Font size is going to be 2.2 rem. Let's make this white, red, space this out, so I will have this animation. So now this animation is working. Let's assign a text color is to white to my icons. Text white, so it's working fine. Let's come to my CSS, so let's change it to -1 rem. So let's give this comment line and copy and paste here, and select this all and replicate this couple of times, because altogether I have to display 9 products. So simply paste 9 times, so this is how it will look. So it's already looking great on a mobile device. We have to do some changes in the tablet and on a desktop, so it's working fine. Simply change the images, so this one is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, it's not 8, so this is how the image will look. So let's change this lady image to a product, so this one is going to be 2, so this is how it will look. So this is how it's looking on our desktops. We don't need to worry, we're going to fix this one. So this is how it's looking on a mobile phone. Let's come to my CSS, let's give this comment, and let's call it iPad media query. So this is how it will look on iPad. Let's add a media query. Min width is going to be 35 em and max width is going to be 59 em. I'll select the bestseller, grid template area 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8. So this is how it will look, because I have already used a grid template area in my in the main container. So this is how it will look. Simply I have to write that I want to have a 2 product in my tablet, so that's why 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5 and 6, and 7 and 8. So it's already looking great on a tablet. As you can see, everything looks perfect. Let's come up here. Padding block is going to be 2 rem, so it will have some space from top and bottom. Let's add a media query for the desktop. So min width is going to be 59 em. I'll select the bestseller. Width is going to be 95 VW. Grid template area 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. So altogether I want to have like 4 product in 1 row. So let's expand it. So this is how it will look on a desktop. It's looking already great, and that's the best part of going with the mobile design and using a grid system. So once you do the setups, you can easily place the way you want to all the items. So this is how it's looking on a desktop. So It's looking really great. So let's come back here. Let's padding block is going to be 2 RAM on desktop from top and bottom. Let's assign a font size is going to be 3 RAM, so this will become a little big, and this one is going to be a bolder. Copy this latest spacing. Font size is going to be 2.5. Okay, this looks perfect. So this is how it will look on a tablet, and this is how it will look on desktop. So we are almost done. Now let's move to the next section, features section. This is the second feature section. So come up here, and we have already created this feature section. Simply copy this and come here and paste here. So we already have the same style. Let's change this background to green. So this is how it will look, and we have to change the image as well. So let's pick the image. Which one? So this is the image. So P1. So this is how the image will look. So it's already looking good on a mobile phone. We have to just adjust the image. Let me make it green to my button, and let me give this command features section to green. Let me target the feature sections, and the image margin top is going to be minus 18 RAM, right is going to be 4.5 RAM, width is, let's make it to 3, 1, 4, and let's make this 19. Let's add a media query to my tablet, and this one is going to be 59 for max. Feature section, the image, let's expand this. So this is how it will look on a tablet. Margin top is going to be minus 19 RAM, right is going to be 40 RAM. Let's remove this. Width is going to be 50%. Let's change this to 4 RAM, okay? And this one is 10, this one is 15. So 12, copy this and paste. Now let's make this min width. That's for a desktop. Let's expand this. So this is how it's looking on a desktop. This one is going to be 19 RAM, and this one is going to be 50. Let's make this 40. So this is how it will look. So let's come here, assign a class, feature green. And because of this, we were having the problem in placing the image in the desktop and tablet one, because I was targeting with that exact feature image, and whatever changes we were making in the green one, it was automatically taking the place in the red as well, because we were targeting with the same class. So here we have assigned a new class, feature green, and let's target with this. Simply select all this and remove this. So this is how it will look. Now let's 19 on our mobile phone. Let's come here. So we are done with this section. Now let's move to the next section, and this one is going to be heading recent news. So in this we're going to add our blog post. So simply come up here. So let's copy this header section, because we don't want to create this header section again. We already have this section. We have to do that. We have to change the content. Let's copy this. I will simply paste, and let's change the text to recent news. So this is how it will. Let me copy this paragraph text and paste it here. Let me create a section, and I will assign a class is going to be recent news, and I will also assign another class is grid. In this, I will create a div with a class name of news, and I will assign a grid class to this section as well. I will take an image tag, and I will select this first news image. So this is how it will look. And here I will take a div. Inside this, I'm going to take a paragraph, and here I will type October 5, 2022. Another paragraph, and I will simply copy this text and paste it here. And the reason why I'm creating this div and putting this paragraph inside the div, because I want to make it flex, and this is how it's going to display. So let's come down, and here I will take a h2 tag. So simply copy this text and paste here. And inside another, I will take a paragraph tab. I will copy all this text and paste simply here. So this is how our all contents are looking right this moment. So let's quickly assign a class to this div. Is going to be Montserrat, and I will font size is going to be 100 and flex. So this is how it will look in same line. I will target my h2. I will assign a class called Poppins, and let's assign a font size is going to be 200 and bold is going to be 600. So this looks quite good. I will target my paragraph, and I will say Montserrat, font size 100. Let's come back to my CSS, and let's give a comment new sections, and let me create a utility class called padding inline, and this one is going to be padding inline 0.6 RAM. I will simply copy this utility class, and I will come here, and I'm going to paste it. So these two paragraphs will have a distance among themselves. So let's assign a utility class to this here also, h2, and I will assign in this line as well. So they all will have a distance. Now let me target the recent news, and I'm going to assign a width to be 90 VW, and margin inline is going to be auto. So everything would be in the middle, and I will use my custom gap property, and this one is going to be 1 RAM. Padding bottom is going to be 2 RAM. I will select grid template area 1, 2, and 3. So altogether I'm going to display 3 news in my home page. So let's come down. So let's recent news and child. So let's remove this, and I will say grid area is going to be 1. Let's copy 3 times, and let's change the temp content. This one is going to be 3, 3. So everything's placed. Now let's come down. I will target the news section and the image, and I'm going to say border radius is going to be 2 RAM, cursor pointer, and transitions, because I want to add a transition when I over my mouse on the image. So this transition is for that. So transition transform is going to be 250 ms, easy in out. So let's come down here. I will target the news section and I will create an over effect on the image. So when I will over on the image, I want to make it 5 pixels, 5 pixels, 57 pixels, and -6 pixel. And I'm going to use this light black color. And this is going to be transitions, and transform is going to be 250 ms, easy in and out. So this is how it will look. Let's come back to my HTMLs and simply give this comment and give this comment and select all this and paste 2 times, because altogether I have to display 3 news. So this is how it looks. Let me change the image. It's going to be 2, and this is how it will look. So we are almost done with the recent news section. So it's already looking good on mobile phone. Let's come to my CSS. Let's give a comment. It's going to be desktop media query, and recent news width is going to be 95 VW. Margin inline is going to be auto. Grid gap is going to be 2 RAM. So this is how it's look on a desktop. And let's add a media. Min width is going to be 59, and wrap the entire content inside this media query. And I'll use this padding. Bottom is going to be 5 RAM. Grid template area. So I want to display all the blog posts in the same row. So 1, 2, and 3. If I save, this is how it will look. So it's already looking great. We have to do the changes in the text a bit, so we can do that very easily. And here I will target the news. Let's make this up to 1. And grid gap 0.8 RAM. That's look good. And I will target the H1, and font size is going to be 1.2 RAM. And I'm going to target my p tag of a new section, and this one is going to be 0.9, so this will look quite small. And I will provide a padding right 4 RAM, so it looks really great. All the over effect is working. Let's go up, and everything's looking great. Okay, everything looks on great on mobile phones. So these products are also looking great. Let's scroll all the way down. So this section look perfect. So we are done with the blog section. Now let's move to the brand section. So let me give this brand section comment, and inside this we're going to write all the codes. So let me create another section, and I will assign a class called brands, and let me call another class grid, and div. Inside the div I will take an image. I will select the image. Let's scroll all the way down. So this is how it will look. Simply replicate this a couple of times, and let's change the image. This one is going to be 3, this one is going to be 4, this one is 5. So if I save, all the image would be changed. So we are done with the HTML part. Now let's jump to the CSS and let's write. And styling this, I'll give this comment brand. I'll target the brand. Place item is going to be center. Gap is going to be 4 RAM. Padding block from top and bottom 2 RAM. Margin block is going to be 2 RAM. Let's make it 4. Background color is going to be this gray one. Grid template area 1, 2, 3, 4. So altogether we have 4. Make it 3. Brand and child grid area 1. Copy this couple of times, and let me change this quickly. So 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, and this one is going to be 5, 5. So this is how everything will look. I will target the images, and opacity is going to be 0.2. Cursor pointer and transition transform 250 ms, easy in and out. And image over, I make the opacity to 1. So this is how it will look. So it's looking great. I will give this media query comment, and let's add the media query. Min width is going to be 35 em and max is going to be 59 em. I'll target my brand grid template area. So let's say 1, 2, and this one is going to be 3, 4. Let's come out here and let me write the media query for my desktop. So 59 em. I'll grab my brand and I will say grid template area 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let me expand this. It's look great. Let's make this to 4. Okay, we are getting nice gap. So everything's working fine. So on mobile phone it looks great. Add a gap into 4. Okay, so I removed the custom gap property. I don't know what was the problem. So I simply adding a gap property directly to the brand sections rather than using my custom property. So we are done with this brand section. Now we are moving to the footer section. So let me give this comment footer section. I'll create a sections and I will add a class called footer, and I will also add a grid class to that. And inside this I will create another div for a footer logo, and this will also have a grid class. I'll take an image. I will select my logo. So and then I will take a paragraph tag. So this is copy the text and paste here. So let's come back here. So here I have my logo and my paragraph tag. I'll simply copy, come to the next section, and now I will add my social media icon. So I'll create a div for that, and I will assign flex. And here I'm going to add my social media icon. So simply come to this website. Let me expand this and let me grab this Facebook icon, copy this and paste here. And let's look for a Insta, copy and paste here. Let's come here and look for a Twitter, copy and paste here. Now come to LinkedIn, so copy and paste. So here I have all the icons in my project. So now we can use it and we can modify it as per the styling. So let's come out of this container. I'll create a footer menu and I will assign a grid to the grid class to this div, and I will take h3 and I will say quick link. Inside this I will create a allies and I will take anchor tag, and here I will type home and I will add my custom classes. So Montserrat, text is going to be black and font size is going to be 200. So this is how it will look. Simply select all this and replicate this 4 times. And let me change the text very quickly. So this one is going to be about, this one is going to be shop, and this one is going to be contact. So this is how it will look. Let's take a UL and just wrap the entire li into a UL. Let's come out of this div. I'll simply remove this div and paste it here. So it will have one section. I'll take another div with a contact and I will assign a grid class to this. I will take a h3 tag and I'll call it contact, and here I will take a paragraph. Simply copy this text and paste here in my paragraph. Let's come out of this div and let me create another div with the email class, and I will also assign a grid class. Inside this I will take a h3 tag, and this one is going to be subscribed to our email, and I will take a paragraph tag. Let's copy this and paste here, and I'll create another div with the input field class, and inside let's assign a flex class also, and bg is going to be gray, so and type is going to be email, placeholder is going to be email, enter your email, and class is going to be fs Montserrat. So I have to change the color, font family Montserrat, background gray. I'll take a button tag, and in this I will write subscribe. Now let's remove this and paste here. So let me set the orientations so I can easily able to understand that which div is closing which sections, because we are working with so many divs, so sometimes it's create the confusion. So when you are into a development, you will come across this situation where you have to review a code over and over again. Let me assign the classes very quickly. So this one is going to be Montserrat, and font size is going to be 200. So it's quite big. Okay, we'll come back to that later. Let's come down here and let's assign a class to my header section. This one is going to be pop-in. Font size is going to be 200 and bold. So this looks great. So simply copy this till here and paste on here. I will assign a class to my paragraph, and font family is going to be Montserrat. So that's look great. I will target my h1. Font family is going to be pop-ins. Font size 200. Bold is going to be 800. So this is how it will look. Now let me target the paragraph. This the biggest text. I will assign a class, and this one is going to be have an update class, and I will say pop-ins, and font size is going to be 300. Bold 8. So this is how it will look. Nice, big and bold. Let me grab the button and let's add bg red, text white, and font family is going to be pop-ins, and font size is going to be 550. Let's come back to my CSS. Now we are moving towards styling this entire component, footer component. So let me give this comment footer section. I'll target the footer and I'll provide a margin block from top and bottom 5 ram. Width is going to be 85 VW. Margin inline is going to be auto. Grid template column autumn. I will use my custom gap property is going to be 1.5 ram. Grid template area 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. So this is how it will look, nicely placed. And that's why I love grid, because the very first time you have to do the setups. So once you do this setups, it's very easy to change the layout as per different screen resolutions. So if you want to place the fourth element on the first element, you can do with this very easily. So I'll target the footer nth child 1, and grid area is going to be 1. Simply replicate this 4 times, and let me change this text to 22, 33, and this one is going to be 44. I'll come here, I will grab the footer logo, and let me add my custom gap property. It's going to be 2 ram, so it will have a nice gap. And footer logo paragraph width is going to be 60%. So this is how it will look. Footer logo, I'll target the social media icons. So this will have a flex gap is 1.5 ram, so they will have some space between them. I want to increase the font size, is going to be 2 ram. That's too big. Let's make 1.5. Okay, 1.3. I think this looks better. Let's come down. Footer menu, I'll target the UL. Margin is going to be 0, padding is going to be 0, and list style is going to be none. Let's come down. I'll target the footer menu li, and margin is going to top from 0.5. And let me grab the footer menu anchors, and text decoration is going to be none, so it will have any underlines. Contact paragraph, and width is going to be 60%, so this is how it will look. Now I will target the input field class, and I'll padding 0.5 ram. Border radius is going to be 4 ram. Input field button border is going to be 0. Padding 0.7 ram from top and bottom, 1.5 ram from left and right. Border radius is going to be 3 ram, and cursor is going to be pointer. Let's target the input field called input, and border is going to be 0. Width is going to be, let's say, 60%. Okay. Input field input over, so when I over my input field I want to do some changes. So input field input focus, so this one is going to outline none, so I don't want to have any outline. I'll target the input and input. Now I want to add some styling inside my input, so I want to have some spacing when I type any text. So I will say type, and this one is emails, and margin left is going to be 2.5 ram. So this is how it will look. So let's come here and change the color to this input field. It's PG, so this is how it will look. Come here. So it's already looking great for a mobile device. Now let's come down and let me write the media query for the different screen sizes. So media query min width is going to be 35 em and max width is going to be 55 em. I'll grab my footer and I'll assign a grid. Gap is going to be 0.5 ram. So let's expand this. Okay, grid auto column auto, grid template area, so 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So this is how it will look on our tablet. Let's come down. Let me grab the logo, and logo P, and font size is going to be 1 ram, so I'm going to make it a little smaller. Let's grab the logo and social media icons. I'll decrease the gap. This flex gap is going to be 1.5. Bottom margin is going to be 1 ram. Footer menu allies, so I'll say margin top is going to be 0.1 ram. Footer menu anchors, font size is going to be 1 ram, so this will look a little smaller. Come here and I will target this update class. Font size is going to be 1.5 ram, so I want to make it a little smaller. And input field input, border is going to be 0, width is going to be 50%. Input field input and text emails, and margin left is going to be 2 ram. Let's make it to 1. Okay, that looks great. Now let's move to the desktop. Min width is going to be 59 em. Footer width is going to have 92 VW, and let's make it big. Okay, and now margin top is going to be 6 ram, and grid gap is going to be 2 ram. Grid auto column is going to be auto, and grid template area, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I won't display in the same row. So this is how it will look. So let's come here. Let me grab the logo paragraph and change the font family to 1 ram. This looks great. I will tag the menu and I will change the H3, and this one is going to 1 ram. And I'll target the footer menu anchors, and this also going to be 1 ram, so they will have a small size. I'll grab my contact H3, and this will have 1 ram too. And I'll go grab my email class H3, and this will also have a 1 ram. So this is how it will look. Let's change the font size to 100. This one is also 100. Let's select all this and say 100. So now it's looking much better. So I have changed the allies anchors size from 200 to 100. It looks already great. And let's expand this. So everything's looking great. So we are done with the footer section. Now let's move to the copyright section. So I will create a sections and I will assign a class copyright. Inside this I will take a paragraph. So copy this text and simply paste in the paragraph, and copy this text also and simply take another paragraph and paste it here. So this is how my text will look. So let's add a class. Font size, font family is going to be Montserrat FS200, and let's add another class Montserrat FS100, and text is going to be white. So let's come here in my CSS. Let me give this comment, copyright section, utility classes. Let me comment this out. So I'll take a text align center, and I'll take a P top, and this one is going to be padding 1 RAM. So sometimes you have to make this adjustment, like if you want to place certain items certain places, so you can create this utility classes. It's totally acceptable, and this is how you have to have an approach. So simply copy this and come here and let me add this text align center, and top is going to be like it's right there. Now let me grab this copyright section, and margin top is going to be 5 RAM, and let's add a padding is going to be 1 RAM from top and bottom, and left and right is going to be 2. So this is how it will look. And margin inline is going to be auto, so that will hold the content in the middle. So background color is going to be HSL and this black, and I can change the color to the text. So I will take this HS color and it will become white, and I will just decrease the opacity, so 0.5 is great. I'll add a media query. So first I will go with min width, and this is 35 and 59 EM from tablet. I'll target this copyright sections, and display is going to be flex, so in my tablet it will be have in one line. So justify content is going to be space between, and a line item is going to be center, so both will have in a single line. Let's add a media query for the desktop. So min width is going to be 59 EM, and I will again target the copyright section, and display is going to be flex, and justify content space between, a line item center. So everything's look great. Now we have to change this font size. So let's come to my HTMLs and let's see, copy that class which I have assigned C font, and I can change this font size to 1, so this will look smaller, and it's looking great. So as you can see, we are almost done with this copyright section, footer sections. Now let me make it mobile responsive, and let me scroll it from top, and let me show you. So this looks perfect, this is working. So all the sections are beautifully designed and working fine. We are getting this nice over cart menu. This section is also looking great. So this is our footer section, and this is the copyright section. So let's come in my CSS and let's change the size of the font. So let's make this 100, so it will look a little small on a mobile device. Let's go up. So this is working fine. Let me expand for a tablet. So this is how it will look on a tablet. So this is looking great. Footer section is also looking great, and this is how it will look on a desktop. We're done with the home section. Now let's move to the shop section, and let me create all those 3 files, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript very quickly. So I'll come here and I'll create my shop.html, shop.css, and shop.javascript. So before I start moving ahead and start writing the code for my shop page, I want to grab those components which are going to be in all the pages, like header and footer. So let me grab those components from my home page. So I'll simply open my home, and from here let's come up, and I'm going to copy the entire header section along with the boilerplate. So I will copy from top till my header section, and I will paste here. Let's come down, let's grab the footer section. So from here I'm going to simply copy the entire code till down, and I will paste here. Let me give this command shop sections. Let me bring it down, and inside this I'm going to write all the code for the shop section. And so when you are working on a big project like this, so when you will review a code, you can easily able to find which section you have to do the editing. So let me paste the code down below, and we're done with that. Now let me open this with the live server and see how everything looks. So everything's looking great. As you can see, we have our navigations, we have our footers. I will go with mobile first approach. So let's come here and let's change this active class to this shop active. So this shop page is divided in 2 sections. First section is going to be the feature section, and the second section is going to be the product sections. So let me give this comment, shop features section, and inside this I'm going to write the feature section, so I can able to have the tracks, and you know that. I'll take a section and I will assign a class. This is called shop feature. I will assign a background color, and I will set to grid. I will take a p tag, and I will assign a font family to Montserrat. Text going to be black, and I'll type home, and I will take a span, and I'm going to assign this arrow, and you will know why. So I will assign area hidden true, and the reason why I have added area hidden true, because this is for system technology. So I want, this is only for design purpose. I don't want that when the crawlers crawl my code, I don't want them to read this part. So that's why I'm saying area hidden true. I'll come here and here I will type product. So this is how it will look. I'll take another div, and I'm going to write the entire section inside the div h2, and for pop-ins is going to be 300, and bold is going to be the 7, and it's going to be products. So this is the benefit of working with classes. So all the texts are set. Now let's come to the shop section. This is going to be my shop sections, section 2. I'll take a main container. I will assign a class, call it main section container. Is going to be grid. So I'll create a div, and inside this I'm going to create another div with shop title, and this one is going to be flex shop titles, and I will assign a flex class. So let me zoom a bit. I'll take another div, and inside this I'm going to take h2 tag. I will assign a class. Font family is going to be poppin. font size is going to be 300, and this one is shop. I will take a p tag and I will assign a class font family Montserrat, and this will be showing 1 out of 10 product, and this is how everything's look. Let's come out of the div. I'll take another div. Inside this I will take a selection because I have an options filter, product filter options. So I will simply remove this and I will assign a class fs poppins. I will assign a background color is going to be black and text is going to be white. So this is how everything's look. I'll take options and this is going to be a text. So the first one is going to be default shorting. I will simply replicate this and change the text to short by popularity. I will come replicate this couple of times and simply change all the texts here. So this one is going to be rating, this one is going to be latest, this one is going to be price, low to high, and the last one is going to be high to low. So this is how everything's look. So we're done with this options. Now simply come out of that container and end it. And let me give this comment, end of inner section. I'll give this another comment, product section, and simply come up here. I'll take a section and I will assign a class shop product, and this one is going to be grid class, and I will take another div with a product list and I will assign grid. I'll take an image tag and this is the image which I want to use. So let me check once more. So this is the product image. Inside this I will take a p tag and I will assign a class to Montserrat, and this the text is going to be 600 bold and beat. I'll take another div and this is going to be my shop BTN, and I will assign a flex, and inside this I'm going to take a button tag which is going to be have a background red text white, and font family is going to be Montserrat, and the text is going to be add to cart. Let's come down. I will take another p tag and I will assign the class is going to be Montserrat, and bold is going to be 700, and this is going to be my price. So this is how it will look. Let's just change the spelling, bold bold. So this is how it will look. Let's come down and let me give this comment to pop-up div, and inside this I will take a p tag and this is going to be poppins and sell. So let me copy this entire product, tell up and paste a couple of times. So altogether I'm going to display 9 products. So let me replicate this 9 times. Okay, so this is how everything's look. We have 9 products. I'll give this comment sidebar section. So now we're done with the product section. Now let's work on the sidebar. Inside this I will create a div with a class name of sidebar search and sidebar search, and I will assign a text is going to be black and background is going to be gray. I'll take an input tag. I will add a placeholder is going to be search here, and I will also assign a class is going to be Montserrat, and background color is going to be gray. So this is how it will look. I'll take a div. Inside the div I'm going to have all the icons which I want to display. So let me open my browser and let me grab the icons very quickly. So let me search it for a search icon and paste here. Let's come back and let me assign this background color is going to be gray red and text white. So this is how it will look. A site class, and this is going to be a site category. I'll take a class with a site categories, and this is going to be a flex. I will take h3 tag and this is going to be my product category. I will assign a class fs poppins bold 700 and font size is going to be 200. So this is how everything's look. So here we are done with the HTML part. Now let's move to the CSS and start writing the code for that. Let me give this comment utility classes, and here in the shop page we have to create some utility classes which make our work easy. So let me give this comment very quickly. So utility classes for shop. So first I want to create a utility class with a margin. So this is going to be inline padding is going to be 0.5 ram. Button is going to be a cursor pointer, and the icon I'm using on that I'm going to say cursor pointer. So we're done with the utility classes. Now let's work on the feature section. Shop features section. Let me give this comment. Shop feature width is going to be 100 VW. Place item is going to be center. Padding 3 ram from top and bottom, and left and right is going to be 0. Why the changes are not taking place? I think I have not connected my CSS file. So let's come back to my HTML. Let's go up and let me connect my CSS file. So during the development you will come across this silly mistakes. You will move your head around and you will find that you have not connected your CSS file. So let me connect that file very quickly. Shop CSS, and let me connect my JavaScript file as well. So therefore, so as you can see, the styling which we have written for a shop feature is applied successfully. So everything is in the middle. Let's come down. Let me give this section to shop main container. Width is going to be 90 VW. Margin inline is going to be auto. Margin block 2 ram from top and bottom. I will target the shop title, and justify content is going to be center, and align item is going to be center. So sorry, space between. I'll target my shop title selections, and padding is going to be 0.5 RAM. Border radius is going to be 2 RAM, so it will have the style. Let's come out of that and let's give this command shop product section. Shop product margin block is going to be 2 RAM. I'll target the product list. Overflow is going to be hidden. Cursor is going to be pointer. Margin bottom is going to be 2 RAM. Position is going to be relative. Product list over product lift focus. So color is going to be HSL, and I'm going to use my custom color, which is red. So as you can see on over, we have this red effect. I'll target my product list image, and border radius is going to be 1 RAM. So I will have this come down. Shop BTN. A line item is going to be center. I will use my flex custom property gap. So it's going to be 3 RAM. Transform translate is going to be 40%. Let me change to 30, and this is how it looks. So we'll come back to later when we find that we have to adjust this translate X to match the design. I will select my transition transform to 50, easy in and out. Okay, cursor is going to be pointer. So product list over shop BTN. So transition transform is going to be 0. As you can see, the moment I'm overing, we're having this night effect. So let's remove that for a while because we want to style the button. So let's comment out that for a while. Let's target the BTN, and I'm going to target my button. Border is going to be 0. Padding is going to be 0.5 top RAM, and left and right 1 RAM. Border radius is going to be 2 RAM. So this is how it will look. It's working fine. So let me give this comment pop-up box. Let me grab my pop-up container, and position is going to be absolute, and background color is going to be red, and top is going to be 1 RAM, left is going to be 1 RAM, and border radius is going to be 50%. So this is how it will look. Cells. Padding is going to be 1 RAM from all the sides. Color is going to be HSL white. The text color is white. So we are done with the general styling of this product container. Now let's add some media query to make it responsive for tablet and desktop. So media query desktop. I'll add my media query. So min width is going to be 59 EM. I'll grab my shop main container, and I will use my custom gap property, which is 2 RAM. Grid template column is going to be 1 FR. Grid auto column is going to be 1 FR. Grid template column is going to be auto and 20 VW. So auto is for my product section and 20 VW is for my sidebar. I'll come out of that. I will target my shop main container, and the first child grid column 1. Last child is going to be grid column 2. So here I have divided this main container in 2 sections. So that's why I have given this empty div, and that I have wrapped this 2 sections. One section is contain the entire product section, and the other section contain the sidebar. So as you can see from here to, let's scroll all the way down to here. This is the first section, and this is the last section. Let's come back. So this is how everything's look on a desktop right this moment. So this is our sidebar, and this is our shop section. So I'm going to convert the entire section in the grid layout, so that would help us to position the element very easily. So let's do the setups for that. I'll target my for shop product nth child 1 and grid area 1. So let me replicate this couple of times because altogether we have 9 products. So let's come here, changes 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, and 7, 7, 8, 8. So let's copy it one more time. This is going to be my 9. So let's come to my media query and for the desktops, and here I will target my shop product. I'll say grid template area. I want to desktop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is how everything's look on a desktop. So we already have our layouts. We have to do a little bit of adjustments, and that's what the best part of using the grid. So as you can see, everything's working fine. It's absolutely great. We have to adjust the buttons for that. So let me adjust my editor. Let's zoom a bit so you can have a look. Let's come down, target the shop product H3 tag, and font size is going to be 1 RAM. So as you can see, it looks a little smaller. Come here, I'll target my sidebar search, and padding inline is going to be 1 RAM. So let's look good. Come here, I'll target the category list H3 tag, font size is going to be 1 RAM. So product list shop PDN, transform translate minus 48%. So now it's looking great. It's not visible, it's only visible on our over. So everything's looking great. So this is working fine. Now let's come here, let's come out of that, and let's write the media query for my mobile device. So min width is going to be 35 em and max width is going to be 59 em. I'll target my shop product and grid grid template area. So altogether on a tablet I want to show 2 products in a row. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and let's make it on a tablet. So this is how it's look on a tablet. So this is how it will look on a mobile device. Let me expand it. So this is how it will look on a tablet. It's looking fine. Now we have to do some adjustment in the button. As you can see, the buttons are already visible, so I have to do some adjustment on that. So let's come up here, let's copy and paste right up here, and let's change the value. So it's to make it 35. Okay, let's make it 42. So this is looking quite good. So at this point we have to build the stage for every component, and later down when we're done with the entire code, we will do this extra touch up in the codes. So it's looking fine. Let's make it to 45. So I think this looks better. So everything is looking perfect for the tablet as well. Come down and sidebar section. I'll target my sidebar search, border radius to RAM. So let's work on the mobile first. Align item is going to be center, margin bottom is going to be 2 RAM. I'll grab my sidebar input field. Padding is going to be 1 RAM from top end, and left and right is 0.5. Width is going to be 80%. Border radius 2 RAM. Border 0. Let's come down. Sidebar search input focus. So I want to remove this outline. So outline is going to be none. So right now I don't have that. Simply make it to 70, 50, 80. Okay, let's come to my HTML and let me zoom. So what we have else? So let's assign a flex class. Okay, because I forgot to assign the flex class, that's why it was not going on that side. So due to this flex class, and that's what I love about this custom properties. So let's come back here. Now let me grab the sidebar input type. Is going to be an email text. I'll provide padding inline to RAM. Sidebar search, I'll select my icons, and padding is going to be 0.9 RAM. Font size is going to be 1 RAM, so this will become a little bigger. Border radius is 50%, and box shadow is going to be -2 pixels, 0 pixels, 18 pixels, and I will use the HSL color. This my custom is going to be gray light. So this is how it will look. So let's remove this extra line from there. I'll grab my category list. Justify content is going to be content space between. Align item is going to be center. Padding inline is going to be 1 RAM. Padding bottom is going to be 2 RAM. Padding bottom is going to be 2 RAM. So right now we have some space. Let's go to my HTML and let's see what we have here. So this is how everything's look on our desktop. As you can see, everything is perfectly aligned. We have our sidebar in a perfect place. We have our product in a perfect place. So everything's looking great right this moment. Everything's working fine. Let's come back. On a tablet it's looking also great. On a mobile phone is also fine. So right now I want to add an icon to my product category. So when someone click on that icon, the category list will come down, slide down. So let's come to this website, and from here I can get this arrow. So this one, copy and come here and simply paste. So let's come back to my browser. So here I have my icons. You can see a tiny one. So let's come out of div and let me create another section. Let me give this comment category list, and here I'm going to add all the categories which will slide down when I will click on this arrow. So let me create a div with a shop category list. I will assign take a UL, and I will assign an ID. I will add an ID, and this is going to be called arrow. I will use the data attribute for targeting with the help of JavaScript. So I love to use data attributes, which really great. So data category is going to be initially false. So when I will click, it becomes true and our slider will come down. Let's assign a ID to side nav, and I will also assign a class to called sidebar nav, and the grid class also, and I will use this data category is going to be false. Let's create the li. I will take an anchor tag and I will create a class fs Montserrat. I will add the text is going to be black and bold is going to be 500. I will create earphones. So this is how it will look, the very first category. Let's simply replicate this couple of times. Let me change the text to gadget. This one is going to be headphone, speakers, uncategory, gifts. So everything is placed. Let's come back to the CSS. I'll give this command category list, And let's come down. Category list, I'm going to target the icon. Font size is going to be 2 RAM. Transform, rotate is going to be 0°. Transition, transform 300 mm easy in out. Let's come down. Category list, icon, data, category to true. Transform, rotate 90°. And that's why I have used the data attribute to make it false. So when I will turn it true, it will move it down. I'll target the shop, category, list, and overflow Y is going to be hidden. Sidebar, nav, margin 0, padding 0, list style none, and I will use this custom gap is going to be 0.8 RAM. Transform, trans white minus 100%, so it will go out of the DOM, not out of the DOM, it will go up, and that's why I have assigned a overflow Y is hidden to my category list. Transition, transform 250 easy in and out. So this is how it will be. Let's come down, target the sidebar, data, category is going to be true. Transform, trans Y is going to be 0, and sidebar nav anchor text decoration is going to be none. So let me comment this. So as you can see, we don't have the underlines text decorations. So let's come up and let's add this margin class to this. So let's see, this is how everything's look on our desktop. Everything's working fine. So let's come here in my site navigation and assign padding inline is going to be 2 RAM. So here I will have some space from left and right. Let's make it 2.5. This one is look much better. Let's make it, uncomment this. And so I think we are done with the CSS. Now let's start working on the JavaScript. So let's come here. Let me give this comment, sidebar navigation, const sidebar nav, document.get element by RD. Come back and let me grab this sidebar nav and paste it here. I'll take another const and this one is going to be my arrow. Document get element by ID. Come back and simply copy this arrow and paste it here. Now I will add an add event listener to my arrow. So add event listener is going to be click. I will run an arrow function and I will take a variable category show sidebar get attribute data category. So we have already assigned the data attribute in our HTML to our nav tag. So I'm targeting that data attribute. Let's come down. If category show is deeply equal to false, so initially the value of the category show is false, I want to make it true. So if it's false, sidebar nav get set attribute to data category. Let's come in there, data category true. Copy this and make it this arrow because I want to change the arrow. I want to make the arrow slide downward. So else simply copy this and paste here and make it false. So everything worked with the JavaScript. Let's check. So let's come. As you can see, it's working fine. Let's open it in the desktop. So it's looking great. It's working very smoothly. So everything's done. So now as you can see that these are the cells this sales tag we have in all the products. So if you want to remove that, you can do it very easily. You can easily remove the code. So let's do it for one of my products. So simply come to my HTMLs and remove this pop-up. If you remove the code, so here in the last product, I have removed this sales product. So this is how you can remove. So everything's working fine. And I think that we are almost done with this product section. So we have our sidebar, we have our product section. I think there is one more thing we have to fix. So the home and product, they both are very close to each other. So let's fix that issue. So let's come to the shop and here we have created this utility copy and come back here in my feature section and simply paste it here. Create a class and paste margin so they will have a space. So now everything's look great. So everything's working fine on a mobile phone, deck tablets. Everything's look great. Let's make it for mobile. It's looking also good. So now let's start moving and working on our about a page. So simply create the 3 pages. So about HTML, about CSS, and about JS. So all the 3 files are ready. Let's come to my HTML file and copy the header and the footer section because these two components is going to be repetitive in all the pages. So let me grab those 2 components quickly. So I'll come to my home section. I will go up and I will simply copy this portion, still header, and paste in about section. Let's come back here and let me grab the footer sections quickly. So from here to till downwards, copy, and let me give this a class about main section, copy, and down portion and paste it. So everything's looking good. Let me open this in a live server. So this is how our about it page is looking right this moment. So everything is set. Now we have to fill this content in our about sections. But one more thing is missing, the feature section. So let's come back and go to the shop and let me grab the feature section. So copy this feature section, come back to the about sections and simply paste. Let me give this comment, feature sections, and paste it. So this is my feature section. Let's change the text to about us. About us. Now let's open in the browser. So this is how it's looking. I think I have to correct my CSS file. So let's come back and let's come down here, zoom a bit, and let me connect my CSS file. So link shop, because this feature sections styles is in the shop CSS file. So let's connect that. And let's connect my about CSS, and let's connect my JavaScript as well. So JS. So this is how it will look. So everything's looking great on a mobile device. So let's come down in the about section and start writing the content for that. Changes to about section main. So we have set the stage for the about us page. Now let's start writing the code for main sections. So I will create a section and I will assign a class to about section, and I will assign a grid class as well. I will take a div. Inside this I'm going to take an image, and this is the image I will take. So this is how it will look. I will come out of the div and I will create another div within about info. I will take a h3 tag and welcome to digital e-commerce. So this is how it will look. I'll take h1 tag, who we are, and I'll take a paragraph tag. So I will simply come to this website, my main website, and from here I can easily be able to copy this, come back and paste the text here. Let me format the documents. So this is how everything's looking. Let me add this break, and one more break I want to add. So br, okay. So everything's looking great so far. Come down and I will create a about btn, and in this I'm going to take a button, shop by, shop now. So let me add all the utility classes which we have created. So the first one is going to be font family, Poppins, fs200, and text color is going to be red. Let's come to my h1 class, Montserrat, font size 500. Let's come back to my main CSS file, home CSS. Let's come up here and let's see what's the problem in that, why the 500 size is not working. Let's come up here. Let me check. Oh, it's 50. So this is how it will look, because I have already declared 500. At the down I have assigned 50 again for the 15 pixels. So that's why that was the same property I have assigned to two font size. That's why it was overwriting the first one. So 50. Let's come back to my about section, and now I think it's working fine. Let's me add the other classes. Text is going to be black. Let's come target my paragraph, Montserrat, 100 size is going to be 100, and let's target my button. So large btn, and background is going to be red and text is going to be white. So my button is ready almost. Now let's assign a font family is going to be Poppin. So this is how it will look. So we are almost done with the HTML part. Now let's move to the CSS and start designing these components. Let me give this comment about section, about sections, and width is going to be 90 VW for mobile phone. Margin inline is going to be auto, and margin block is going to be 4 RAM from top and bottom, so it will have some space from top and bottom. And grid template area is going to be 1, 2. So about section and child 1, grid area 1. So by the time you guys have got familiar about this grid template area, so I'm not explaining on that much. I'm doing it very quickly. So this is going to be 2, grid area 2. Now about sections, I want to target my image. So border radius is going to be 2 RAM. Margin bottom is going to be 2 RAM. Why it's not working? Let me provide some space to that. Okay, it's working fine. Let's come down. I will target my about info. Padding is going to be inline, 0.5 RAM. About info paragraph line height is going to be 1.3 RAM. It will have some space. About BTN margin is going to be top from top, 3 RAM. So it will have some space between the paragraph and the bottom. So let's come back to HTMLs and let's copy that info. Okay, it's working fine. So I add the wrong spelling, so that way it's not working. So about info, okay. Let's remove this paragraph, direct child. Let's come back to make it. Okay, this looks much better. So 2 RAM is too big, 8. So this 8 looks much better. Let's come down. Media query min width is going to be 60 EM. So I'll target my about us sections. Grid auto column is going to be 1 FR. Align item center. Custom gap is going to be 3 RAM. Grid template area is going to be 2 and 1. So this is how it will look. So you can see that everything's looking great right this moment. So let's see. Come down, and about info is going to display grid and place content central, so everything would be in the middle. about info h3. Font size is going to be 1 RAM, so it will become a little smaller. So it's looking fine on a mobile device, and it's looking great on a desktop as well. Do it quickly. Come here in my HTMLs and simply change this active class to, so copy this active and paste in the third one. So I think we are almost done with this about us section, you can see. So with this we are done with the about us section. So let's check how everything looks. So let's click on the home. So this is how our home section is looking. This is the shop page, because all the pages are connected and everything's working fine. Let's click on the about us page and it's working fine. And now let's start creating the blog page. And let me tell you that we don't need to write a single piece of code in this blog page, because we have already built some components. So we're going to import the header section, feature section, and footer section, which is already built. We need to simply copy and paste in the blog section. And we have also created the new section in our home page. As you can see, this is the section. So we're going to simply copy and paste here a couple of times, and our blog page is completely ready. So we don't need to write a single piece of code for this blog sections. If we find out that if we have to write anything, then we can do it very quickly. So let me create those files quickly. So this one is going to be a blog.html and blog.css. And let's come back to my home section and simply copy the header and feature section as well. Come back and paste. Let me give this comment. Same thing for the footer sections. Come and paste here. So change the text. Now I have copied the header section, feature section, and the footer section. Now we will work on the blog section. So this is going to be the blog section. This I will simply connect my blog.css, and let's come to my, change the text to blog and blog. So this is how everything's look. Everything's ready. Now what I will do, I'll go to my home section and I will simply scroll up and copy the new section, because here we have already built that blog post structure. So we're going to import the same structure and simply paste in the blog area. So simply come up and I want to copy this section, this entire section, not this section, copy till here, and I will simply paste here. And let's change this name to blog, and let's save it, cut this and say open with the live surplus. So what's happened? So this is how everything's looking. So this is how our demo website is. So let's come up, we want to get rid of this recent news. So simply come here and simply delete this section. We don't want this section anymore. Come to this, and this is how everything's looking. So I think it's very close to each other. So I want to provide margin from top and bottom. So we can do that very easily. So we'll come to the blog section and let's add just one line of CSS we have to add, because I want to add a space from top and bottom, because it's very attached to the feature section. So okay, blog CSS and blog margin block is going to be 5 RAM, so it will have some space from top and bottom. Simply come and I will assign to my this section, paste it here, and I will see, as you can see, we have a nice gap from on the top. So it's already looking great. Now simply come and paste, copy the same thing 4 times, because altogether we want to show the altogether 12 blog posts. So I will simply come here, copy till here, and I will go to paste a couple of times. So just paste 4 times. So here I have all the blog posts. Everything's looking great. So it's already working fine. Let's come back to my CSS and I'll say grid gap is going to be 2 RAM, so it will have some space. It's working fine. It has some space from the bottom. So let's see. I think everything's working fine. Now let's come to my blog HTMLs and let's scroll up and change the active class to blog. So now it has active class. So it's fully responsive for the mobile device. So with this we are done with the blog section. Now let's move to the next section. Now let's create the contact page. So let me quickly create the files for that, contact.html and contact.css. Again, the same thing I'm going to do. I'm going to copy the header section, feature section, and the footer section. So let me do it quickly. So here I have copied the footer, header, and feature section, and I have given this comment. And inside this, I'm going to write all the code for the contact page, including the forms, maps, and the footer navigation, not the footer navigation, the contact informations. So that's all going to be inside this contact section. Now let me connect the contact CSS page here. So I'll link about CSS, and I want to contact CSS. So this is how everything's look. Everything's set for the stage. Let me click on, so let's come down and let me change the text to contact us and contact us. So this is how it will look finally. Now let's move to the work. Let's make this side by side, so we will go with the mobile first approach. Create a section, and I will assign a class contact us, and I will also assign a grid class to that. Contact info, create a div with a contact info, Inside this, I will take another div. I will take h1 tag, and this is going to be a contact us. h3 tag and get in touch. I'll take a paragraph tag, and I will simply come and copy this text and paste here. So I will go a little faster in this section because these are the same things you have seen a lot. So I will go a little fast. Let me add the classes. So Poppins and text is going to be red. fs200. Class is going to be Poppins. Text is going to be black, and font size is going to be 400, so a little bigger. Montserrat and 100, so this one is going to be a little smaller. So okay, let's come out of that. Let me take a form. So I'm using form here for the contact. So I will assign a class to contact form, and it will have a grid class as well. So I'll take an input. So this is going to be have a class of background is going to be gray, text is going to be black, and font family is going to be Poppin. I will also add a placeholder is phone number. So this is how it will look. So let's come down and wrap this in a div. So I'll simply come and provide a div. I'll simply replicate one more time because the next one is going to be my email. So let's change this to your email, and this one is going to be email. It will have the same classes, so it has a gap between both input field. Now I will take another div. Inside this, I'm going to take text area. Let me get rid of this. So class is going to be bg gray, text is going to be black, and font family is going to be Poppin. So this is how it will look. It's looking really small, so I need to increase the width of this. I want to increase the height of this section. So I can take this row and let's make it 10. So I will have a height and placeholder will have a text your message here. Scroll down, I'll add a contact btn div, and inside this I will take a button, and I will have my generic class large btn, and background is going to be red, text is going to be white, and font family is going to be Poppin. And here submit. Now I'll come out of this container and let's create the map section. So I'll take a div, and inside this I will create another div with the class name of map. I will take a h4 tag, and I will simply copy this text and paste here, and I will take a p tag and I will copy this text and paste here. So this is okay, and this is how everything is looking right this moment. Let me add the classes. So this is going to be Poppins, and size is going to be 200, text color red, and this is going to be Montserrat, and font size is going to be 100, so it will look a little smaller. Okay, what else? Let's come out of that and let's create another section. So we are done with the contact form section. Now let's create another section where I won't display the contact informations. So support informations, and this is the section which I want to build. So let's create a sections, and I will give a name to support container. It will have a grid class, and here I will create a support info. I'll take another div and support image. So I'm using the CHV image. If you want, you can get it very easily. I have provided you all this source code and this images. Simply visit doldosen.com, and from there you can easily able to download this project. So this is how it will look. Now simply take another div, and inside this I will take my paragraph. I will take a span, and in that I can type email, and so let me copy this section, this information, and paste right up here. And I will take another paragraph and copy and paste here. So this is how it will look. Now I will add a class 200 Poppins bold 700. I'll add a class Montserrat. Target my paragraph. Font family is going to be Poppin. Size 100. Copy. Let's make it Poppins as well. And this is the first section. Simply copy and replicate it 3 times, because altogether we have 3 contact information. So I think 4. We have 4. So let me change the images quickly. 3. Let's come back and change the text. So here I have changed the text. So this is how it is looking. So we are done with the HTML part. Now let's move to the CSS and let's start designing this contact form. So let me give this comment contact CSS. I'm giving this generic name so you understand. When you will get these codes, you will understand that which code is written for which part. So come back here, let's grab this contact us. Width is going to be 100 VW, margin inline auto. A line item is going to be center. Gap is going to be 4 RAM. Margin block is going to be 3 RAM, so it will have some space from top and bottom. I'll take grid auto column is 1 FR, so it will equally distribute the container width to both the sections. So grid template area is going to be 1 2. Let's come down. I'll target my contact and child 1, grid area 1, and this one is going to be 2. I'll grab the contact forms and assign a margin inline is going to be 2 RAM. Custom gap is going to be 1 RAM. This is how it will look. Let's come down. Contact us input border 0, padding 1 RAM from top and left and right 2. Border radius is going to be 2 RAM. So this is how it will look. Let's come down. Let's grab the contact us input. Focus is going to be border outline none. Okay, so I don't have that. We'll grab that contact us text area. Width is going to be 100%, and border is going to be 0. Border radius 2 RAM. Contacts at text area focus outline none. Contact BTN padding 1 RAM, 2 RAM from left to right. Font size 1 RAM. Margin top is going to be 1.5. Let's grab the map. Background color is going to be my custom color, red, and I use the opacity 0.3, so it will have a light. Padding 1 RAM from top and left and 2 RAMs. Margin block 2 RAM. Position relative. So now I will create a pseudo element on map because I want to create a decorative element, a line. So I'll say it before, and let's take the content is going to be empty. Width is going to be 5 pixels. Top is going to be 0. Left is going to be 0. Height is going to be 100% of the container, and background color is going to be red. Let me come down, and position is going to be absolute, so there is a red line, like you can see. Let's come out of that. Now let's write the media query. Media min width is going to be 45 EM. Contact us. Grid template area is going to be 1 2, and let's grab the contact us h1 tag. Font size is going to be 1 RAM. So this is how everything's looking. Okay, something wrong. So I think, let's see what's the problem. So it's not working. Well, let's come to the HTMLs and check what's the problem. So okay, this div. So this is the first div, and first all the way to here. Simply cut this and paste here. So now it will working. So here we have 2 sections. So it's working fine. Now we have to fix this side. So in the contact form we're having a space there. We have to fix that. This is how it's looking on a demo website, but we're having some extra margin to our contact form. So we're having extra margin to our contact form. We have to fix that. So let's come into my HTMLs and let's see what's the matter. So let's target the map h4 and 1 RAM font size. Now let's start working on the support section, and we'll fix that later, that font, that why we're having some extra gap to that. So let's start working on the support, and support container. Let's assign a width is going to be 90 VW. Margin auto. Margin bottom is going to be 7 RAM. Place item center. Gap 3 RAM. Grid auto column 1 FR. Grid template area 1 2 3. Come down. Support container and child. Grid area 1. Replicate this 3 times. 2 2 3 and 3. Support info. Gap is going to be 1 RAM. Place item center, so everything in the middle. Support image. Place item center. Let's add the media query. Min width is going 45 EM. Support container, grid template area 1 2 3. So everything would be in the one line on the desktop. Let's target the support info paragraph and support info span. Font size is going to be 1 RAM. So this is how it will look on a desktop. But now we have to fix this one. I was stuck for a half an hour, and finally I have found the problem. So here I have provided margin inline. So as you can see, this one is going to be margin block, not inline. So it will have some space. I provided margin inline, that's why it was getting margin from left and right. So this is how it's looking on desktop. As you can see, it's looking, so this is how everything's looking fine. So it's 100% responsive. It's looking great on a tablet and